Salutations, everyone. This is Auto Ninja.
And this is Crunch.
And you are now listening to the Storm Connect podcast, published by the Central Arts Network. We talk about gaming topics and anime series of our own interests, like RWBY, Final Fantasy, Persona 5 Royal, and so on forward. The goal that we aim to accomplish on every episode is to provide insights on these subjects that are usually overlooked, to spread awareness and learn more. You already know the whole story to that, but anywho. That said, we are accompanied by two special my bad. Amazing, talented guests today for this podcast. You already read the title of what this podcast is going to be about, so, I shouldn't have to elaborate more. You're just going to listen to it as it goes on. But anyways, friends, you may introduce yourselves.
How's it going, people? My name is Kirumi. I am a graphic designer and editor in the Smash community, also the certified Toon Link sniper that most people know me as. I have been doing Smash editing for about 2 years now, but I've really started to make this serious about a year ago, and it's been a really fun journey. I've learned a lot, and I really hope I was able to show a lot of my talents in the videos I make.
Right, well, hi, I'm Dan Strife. You guys can just call me Dan, I guess. I've been a video editor for quite a long time. I never really got into, montages or, edits, the stuff that you guys see with, Smash edits and stuff like that until, maybe 2 years ago or so. I've done work for big companies like Univision, Telemundo, and stuff like that, and that's, where I started editing. But looking at all the music videos and stuff for the Smash community, since I was a player, I wanted to get into it, and I've been doing it for a couple of years now, and yeah, I'm just very passionate about it. I freaking love it.
Nice. Seems like we all have some sort of experience with this community within Smash and whatnot, so that's pretty dope.
Yeah, I've grown up with Smash Brothers my whole life, so doing content for it is just it's become. It was a necessity for me. I had to.
Yeah, definitely. I was more of a player than I was an editor. But as of recent, especially with COVID, I drifted more into the editor side instead of playing.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, that's how I am too. Yeah.
Okay, so I guess we already got the quick backgrounds of how you guys got started into editing and such. So I guess I'll kind of give the self little background of myself. If you guys are not exactly aware of me for whatever reason when you're listening to this podcast, I'm not so much of myself of a Smash editor. I do edits. That part, I've been doing that since 2013. Actually, since I started doing graphic design, but I kind of dropped it for a little bit for about a couple years since I started just strengthening my own skills for graphic design and such, and then when I picked back up on it around, 2019, 2020, actually last year, I started to pop off, and I've had a lot of knowledge about it for many of the years. Like I said, I don't know exactly basically the formula of Smash editing. I have a good idea of it, I just never exactly have the experience of it though. However, I've had among editors that come to me for advice and such because even though I don't exactly do what they're doing, I have the general idea the ways of how they can improve with themselves, since the best way of how I can say I had some type of experience was basically just doing AMVs, montage edits of of the Naruto Ninja Storm series. But that's just at least with my little small background.
Nice. Yeah, I know you do a lot of with your recent. I can't remember which video it was on your YouTube channel. You were starting to kind of do music edits. You weren't doing music videos stuff, but you were making stuff for Persona soundtracks, with a
the audio visualizers.
Yeah, audio visualizer. That's what they're called. Yeah, I thought those were so sick.
Thank you. I really worked hard on those, and again, I will say for especially for the course of last year, I want to give a little bit of my gratitude towards to Dan. He was someone in a way that actually made me improve drastically, and I'm still continuing to do so. And of course, the same with the rest of you. I'm looking forward to your guys' future, of course, with your editing talents and such, because you all have different styles, but you guys have the same type of general idea, and we definitely love it here. We stand talent.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, for sure.
But speaking of editing, it's quite a topic within the Smash community.
Oh my god.
It is a topic, and I just want to tell everybody in this podcast, I never actually thought of this idea. It was actually Kirumi here that, pitched in with this idea. And I'm just like, oh, wait a minute. You know what? This is something that is not exactly vocalized because usually on twitter.com.
Oh
it's
my
just like,
God.
most
Oh,
of
don't
the
get me
time.
started with Twitter, dude.
Twitter is just so horrible for it.
Horrible.
Oh my God. Okay. Just I have personal experience with this because when I was a member of Illusion Gaming, that one sponsor organization, they made like a little show reel for my editing stuff, right? And the amount of quote retweets hating on me. Oh my God. It
It's
was
ridiculous.
Dude, I saw
ridiculous.
that, and it was like so frustrating to see that because I know, like, I mean, we'll talk about this more as we get farther into the podcast, but typically people prefer more like meme videos or like lightly edited
Yeah,
stuff.
because
And like,
I believe the reason for that is because they grew up with Alpharad from Smash 4, and like that he was the only person to like who did this kind of stuff, right? So like they weren't used to like the more edited kind of content. They're used to more jokey kind of meme content.
Yeah, because in general,
well,
like,
it's crazy because on top of that, like, I don't know if y'all were like here for Brawl, but like there used to be some like crazy edits for Brawl.
Yeah,
there's a one for
Really?
an Ice Climbers player back in
QV?
Japan.
Dude,
Yes.
I was actually gonna talk about that. That was the edit that I saw that got me into editing Smash.
Oh shoot! Because that video is really good.
It's incredibly good. It's like from 2014 or something like that too. Like it's been a long time since that video came out.
Yeah, like, because like it's like a weird mix. Because like that was like the popular thing, and like content creation back then wasn't crazy. Like the numbers that people get today within the Smash community never got that before. And so when Alfred kind of came in with his thing, it was like a lot more lighthearted. It was during a time where there was a lot of like, I don't want to say shit posting, but it was definitely like a lot more goofier at the time. Like memes, I think, were way more prevalent than like any other time before, even during like even something as simple as like Rage comics. And it's kind of crazy how that kind of got forgotten, and people just assume that people started that like quote unquote over editing stuff in Smash 4 and think it like ruined everything, but it's been around for a while.
Yeah,
just a different degree.
It's just been a more niche kind of thing, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest, I actually did not know about that. I just thought it was like a little bit more like prominent to when, because again, like, you know, I've known that the Smash community existed, but like I actually did not see like the content side of it up until like maybe like when Smash Ultimate was just about to come out. I saw some things from Smash 4 before like Smash Ultimate was a thing and such. I have seen like some conversations about it here and there though, but like it just did not become so much of like a huge unfortunate slander discussion on Twitter and around with wherever I'm at and such. It just did not become like a big thing until like unfortunately with the recent years with Ultimate being around. So wow, that I actually did not know that. Wow.
Well, there's always been kind of slander for it. Like it just hasn't been like as vocalized because it was so niche, you know. It's like
Yeah.
like
It was worse in 4.
Yeah, it was.
It was definitely
awful.
worse than 4.
It's definitely
Because-
gotten better, especially with like some major videos that have come out, but and like more talented creators, I think. But yeah, there was definitely like a lot of distaste for it in 4, especially since people weren't used to it.
Yeah.
I see. Okay, so then let me pose the question with the rest of you then. Like when I know that there are some of you that have a different start to this, as you guys mentioned earlier. So like this might be, of course, like your answer is probably gonna be different from this. It might not exactly be the right question, but like you know, you guys could go around to it though. But it's like when you guys are like watching a Smash edit video, it's like what do you guys are like most likely to watch it for? Like, is there anything that you guys are specifically looking for to when you're doing this? Like as for like a viewer's perspective, an editor's perspective, like what are we looking at here?
I think typically when I'm like watching a Smash edit, it's very different for like Smash content in general, but when we're talking specifically about montages or videos that have the intention of quote unquote going overboard, I tend to look at cool transitions that people like to implement and just the way people use like masking, for an example, in an attempt to transition. I also like the use of like Twixtor, for an example, to sync up with hits to the music and whatnot. And like the thing I look for most in the Smash edit is not so much like the crazy effects that are going on, because I think over time, I think that gets kind of easier for people to start implementing that stuff. But for me, it's all about execution. I think there's a lot of creative individuals out there who have insanely cool ideas. And I even talked about this before with some other people, but it's all about like how you put it on the paper itself. And especially when you're in the editing studio, like sometimes the idea you want is changed because it's either as simple as you just can't do it or it just doesn't work. And so what I really like in a Smash montage is I want it to be unique to that editor. Like I feel like when I watch a video, I want to remember it based off of like who edited it, based off of their style and what they did. And I also just want to see like everything. Like I want to see the clips. I want to see the cinematics they use. I want to see how they transition from clip to clip or maybe cinematic to cinematic. It's like, it just kind of varies there. But I think the content for Smash has gotten so unique lately, especially with like stream highlight stuff. Because I used to do montage stuff and I still kind of do, but I'm more of like a stream highlighter person. Like I edit for people that want to get into content creation just because like I don't really want to do content creation myself, but I want to edit it. When I'm doing that type of stuff, from a viewer perspective, which is really important to look at as an editor, I tend to look at it from, you know, am I going to enjoy this? Is this something that I want to watch? And also, like, how many people could bear to watch this too? Because even though, you know, let's say I've got like a personal project that I might be working on and I want to go crazy on it. Like, I want to add this and that on it. I want to go, you know, ballistic with it. I want people to see like all these flashing lights and whatnot. I also like want to like be kind of I just want to be subconscious about what others are watching in a video because I want it to reach a mass audience. But I also don't want it to be like this simple cookie cutter boring video because I don't want to like blend in too much with the masses. And like, you know, for example, like stream highlight channels, like not to throw shade at them, but you know, like Yeet Smash, Dragon Smash, like they're literally just re-uploading VODs or people's clips to their channel in a compilation, and they're making a buck off of it, which is kind of insane and like never talked about. But you know, that's just my view on it.
To an extent, it feels like stealing content.
Exactly.
I agree.
For me, I don't really tend to care about clips that much. I mean, literally half my videos use stage clips anyways, so like it's not something I really care about. But like for me, it depends on like who the audience is meant to be. So like if the audience is meant to be like a montage, well, obviously I want it to focus on the clips that are used, and then like if I want to just do my own thing, and then since it's for my own personal channel, I'm gonna use stage clips because I don't really, it's not something I care about, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely for montages, I tend to focus more on clips. I do think that editing is important for montages, just so like you can have like smooth transitions from one scene to another or one clip to another. But yeah, definitely for more heavy edits, I want to see like what the editor has to offer, and that's the main purpose. I don't really care about what clips you have.
For sure. Yeah, because I know there was like a whole thing with I don't know if you guys remember this. I don't know how many. I know Kyrian was involved in this, but I'm not sure about Dan or Edo. But there used to be a thing where there was a very niche little like editing group of people that would do shorts, and it was, you know, mostly based around like a clip pack. So a clip pack essentially was just a pack of staged clips that you could use, but it was for the sake of using them in your edits. So
Subspace?
You might see. Yeah, exactly. Like there was a thing called Subspace where you could upload a montage on there. Like I don't know so much if it was like good enough to be put up on there or what.
It's basically what it is like it's a community channel where you send the montage or edit to the different channel, and then the people who run the channel decide if it's good enough to be uploaded, and then and if it's on the channel, then you get the exposure for your own channel. That's basically how it works.
Yeah. And also, like, okay, so this is kind of a question for Dan and Edo, because, like, clearly, like, as some of you all have listened, like, I think Kyriam and I are, like, pretty, like, deep into this stuff, and I'm just kind of curious, like, what you guys look for when you're watching these videos, because I know, like, I think compared to, like, us two, I think you guys are more so, like, spectators, but you do know kind of what's happening in some videos. I'm kind of curious, like, what do you guys look for yourself in these videos?
Well, when I click on a Smash montage, right? Or like a Smash hit or anything like that, it's essentially as any other montage, any other AMV, any other music video. Like I'm looking forward as to like how well do the clips and the editing go with the music, right? Like that's like
Yeah.
the most important thing to me. If you have like a montage and the clips are like not in sync, or like you have like some random effects going on that have like nothing to do with the music and stuff like that, it feels off, it feels weird. So for me, it doesn't really matter if it's like super stacked with effects or if it's like super simple. If the music fits well with the theme of the video or like what the stuff that's going on, I'm perfectly okay with it. Because I don't know. It's just the way I see it, I guess. Like I really do enjoy when editors go bat crazy with effects and like I cannot differentiate what's going on in the screen anymore. But when it goes well with the music, like when it fits the theme of what they're trying to do, you know.
You bring up a good point actually when you mentioned the anime like community, like or like AMV editing. They don't care about like clips and things because it's an anime, like people have already seen the clips probably. So like and that's, you will never get like, I can't see the clips kind of thing for the AMV community. It's only for Smash Brothers.
Yeah, that's, I mean, I guess it also has to do because most of the people that end up watching the videos of like the Smash edits are players. So
Yeah, that's true.
when you have a player that's looking at a clip and they're like, wait, but this wasn't a true combo, or like, why did this connect this way? They get like turned off by that fact instead of appreciating the actual video. And I think that's one of the biggest issues when it comes to Smash players watching Smash edits. Because with, again, the AMV community, because I've been on and off with the AMV community. I've done like a couple like AMV videos or like some other stuff, but it's just insane to me, the very good anime editors. There's times in which you cannot differentiate what's part of the anime and what's not, and for me that's insane. Like their masking skills are out of this world sometimes.
Yeah, I agree. They go kind of crazy with it too, and like, yeah, what I'm kind of curious what you think about too, Edo.
Yeah.
If you have any words.
Yes. Okay. So, I mean, for me, because that like I kind of have bounced off with my editing here and there, like, you know, with my crazy special effects. Appreciate like normally like most of the time, I'm gonna be completely honest, like most of the Smash videos and such, like since there was a time that like I kind of just like went through my days and such, and like, you know, I wanted to see like how much creativity can be implemented. From a biased perspective, like for me as an editor, I want to see of like how creative editors can do with the Smash clips. It doesn't matter, like, you know, what Dan pretty much brought up. Like, it doesn't matter if it's a combo, if it's true or not. I want to see of like how well this is supposed to be, you know, the flow can go well with it. I pretty much, I'm like, but besides that, like, I don't really have like, how do I put this? Like a general perspective of, you know, from the viewer. I do try to do that. But it's just like whatever the theme is, like whatever I'm getting into, I'll see of like how like the first like, you know, few, like the first minute or maybe two or like 10 to 20 seconds if it's a short video. I'll see of like what it's meant to be, and then after that I'll know exactly what I'm looking for, and then after that I'll watch it again and see if I want to like say if there's any like bad comments I have to say about this video, or are there any good things and such. Do I actually appreciate this video? I always have to ask these questions because I don't like to watch the edit only for the first time. I usually have to rewatch it 2 to 3 times. And again, like normally, as much as I love to see like crazy effects because that's just like how I am, like I know that not all editors can do that. Maybe there's still some that are trying to learn. It's just I want to see of like what can they do, like what idea they're trying to implement. It doesn't have to be the greatest. If it's something that like it feels fresh and new to me rather than seeing like the same old thing over and over and over, then I'm all down for it. And I'm not saying like, you know, for like the clips that I've seen, because obviously like, you know, as you guys mentioned earlier, sometimes like, you know, people, they would drop like these clips and then after that you just go with the flow with it, and like, you know, editors do their own thing. But I just want to see of like for what it is and such. I mean, and if it could go well with it, then cool. But obviously I'm gonna have my comments here and there. But I'll see, like, is this a good light edit? Is this supposed to be crazy effect and such? I want to see if there's some type of consistency with what they're using their editing talent for. Not something that's inconsistent where it's just like, it's like, you know, it's something that's like all chill and then after that gets crazy later and such. I just want to see if there's something that's supposed to be like, something that's supposed to like come out of it. Instead of like getting like the mixed message, it's like, okay, what is the editor doing here? You know? So,
Yeah.
that's
So-
just me. Huh?
I was just gonna say, I guess you guys really like just smooth videos that make sense clearly to you, and you know, just something that's like entertaining, right?
Yeah, because, like, honestly, like, it doesn't have to always be, like, oh, is this a true combo or, like, such? Because, like, you know, like, I get it because, like, a lot of people are mostly, in the mindset of, like, oh, yeah, like, this isn't true. Or, like, oh, well, obviously, like, this was against the CPU or whatever. It's like, if they got it, they got it. I don't care how.
Yeah.
Like, I just want to see of how their idea can flow with it. Like, obviously, like, if it's against from an online or like an offline tournament or whatever, cool, whatever. Congratulations. I could care less. I mean, it's cooler that way, but like, you know, for what this entertainment purpose is supposed to be, like, I'll watch it just for that. But if it's supposed to be something that, like, you know, everyone's supposed to look at as a competitor standpoint and such, then I'll take that into consideration at most. But I am not simply going to judge it just because, oh, well, this wasn't true and stuff like that, then it's a bad video. No. It doesn't always have to be that way, and people need to stop being into that mindset.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
You mentioned something that I really, like, I guess relate to. I love watching, like, seeing new things. When I see content creators come up with new things, that's fantastic to me. Because there was this time, especially around Smash 4, I remember this, a lot of Smash editors were kind of, like, stuck on the same style.
Yeah.
Like,
There's a lot of geometry everywhere, yeah.
I do remember that, yep.
Yeah, there was a lot of the same, you know? Like, there was a lot of times in which I was like, who edited this video, you know? Like, and I look at the name and it's like someone that I never saw before, and I'm like, okay, I guess that's cool. But then I saw another video and I'm like, oh, did the same person edit this video? But it was someone completely different. It's like, like, I don't know. I like seeing new things. I like seeing people. There's obviously nothing wrong with getting inspiration from other editors. Like, obviously not. That's how you develop your own style, I believe. You just get inspiration from other people and then you put your own twist into it. But I don't know. That just happened a lot, especially around the Smash 4 era of content creation in terms of editing, like video edits for Smash.
Yeah, like
And-
I think inspiration. Oh, sorry, keep going.
No,
keep
no,
going.
no. Continue.
I was just gonna chime in and say, like, I really like what you said about inspiration, because I think people tend to get it confused with like straight up copying someone and being inspirational. Like, we'll talk about this when we get to it, but like I'm gonna quickly mention just one thing about Relentless Flow that like plays a huge role in all this, is that like that was literally like the starting point for what was going to be the future of Smash videos, and like that a lot of people took inspiration from that video and made it their goal to like make some pretty crazy unique things based off of what they had seen from that, you know, like for example, working with a lot of geometry or, you know, masking, 3D, cinematics, like whatever it may be. And I think people need to understand the difference between straight up copying someone and then being inspirational, because it's the same thing with artists. Like when artists sometimes start out, they're going to sound like their favorite artist, right? Like if it's a rapper, for an example, they might literally just sound like the same rapper as like someone else, but eventually it will take time to like develop their style and their sound, and then they themselves will be the inspirer. And that's kind of the same thing with editing. It's like you start out inspired, you want to do the same thing they're doing, but then you go out of your way to try new things, and then you discover something that's cool, and then you become the inspirer. And that's, I really like that you brought up inspiration, because that's how I just see like people improving and getting better and making better videos.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and this is not only just for video editing. It's also like, I'm also a filmographer, so like when it comes to film, when it comes to photography, for stuff like that, it'll always be the same. And like, it's just, I don't know, it's just very nice for me to be able to like see someone and find similarities in between other editors, but still be able to tell who the editor is based on their style.
Exactly. I 100% agree with that.
I actually want to mention something about that. I'm actually glad you guys brought that up because that's like the one thing that like I said, I can't really say, at least from like a Smash editor perspective though, but like that is like the one thing that's always stuck with me as like, actually for like the both of the talents that I have, graphic designing and doing editing and such, because it's like, you know, at first like, yeah, I did used to get inspiration off of my other people, but I just like to like try to like master the art of like what this style that I want to develop and just grow into another type of thing to where like you can still tell it's me, but is this something completely that you've never seen before? Like, you know, like I said, like so we all have been emphasizing grabbing inspiration from other editors and such is never a bad thing and such though, but it's just like eventually at that point you cannot get comfortable by just that one single thing. Like you will have to branch off to your own roots, and that's what I think that's like really important to know as an editor, that we're going to be challenged in one way, shape, or another, and we will never stop growing into that. If you just stick there, get comfortable, especially with the trend of like, there's a lot of these videos that look alike and just happen to be the same. Well, are you really learning? Are you really growing? I usually have to ask questions like that because I think it's really important. It's not for me to be like, be condescending or whatever, but it's just like, you can't do this forever, you know? Like, I know it's just challenging. It's very difficult though, but it's just like, is this something that you actually love doing? If not, then what are you doing here, you know?
Mm-hmm. And if I can ask you guys a question, like talking about inspiration and stuff like that, who did you watch? Like, what video did you see? What got you into the style that you're doing right now? Like, what are the inspirations for the art that you do?
I can go first with this. So like, my inspirations aren't really like rooted in the Smash community. I watch people. My main inspiration is Nick. He is from the COD community, and he has the weirdest videos I have ever seen. But they are beautiful, like in a weird kind of way. Like, I cannot stop watching it. Every single thing he does is so different and so unique from everything else on like this editing sphere that I just find it inspirational. Like, I look at his stuff and I'm like, I want to do that. And that was the main like inspiration for me to start doing some real hardcore editing. And he's been my main motivator for all the time I've been editing for. So, and my next edit is going to be directly inspired off of him. So I owe a lot to Nick. So, and
That's dope.
That's freaking sick.
Yeah. Crunch, I guess you can say.
Yeah, sure. So the thing with like inspiration for me personally is like, so I guess to like give background, the way I even got into editing, period, I always call it cringe, but I feel like everybody starts somewhere. So like, I guess this is how I started. But like, I used to be really active on the like Smash Instagram scene, which I know that sounds so weird, like, and not expected, because I tell this story all the time and people
I didn't even know Instagram had like a Smash
yeah, like,
Instagram scene.
Yeah, like people think it's like the craziest, funniest thing, and it is. I promise you, it is. No one's guilty of it. But like the thing for me with it was, I used to make a lot of like 15-second montages because that was back when Instagram you could only post like, I think it was like 15 seconds, and you didn't even get a minute until I think like 2016, 2017 possibly. And I just remember like, I watched this montage from Trifros, who at the time was like one of my favorite Falcon content creator players, and it kind of also sort of like revolutionized like the expectations of a Falcon montage, partially footstool combo stuff when that was like really big in Smash 4, and like they were just very fun montages to watch. And I just remember like I took so much inspiration from that type of style because it was so simple, right? But it's also really hype. Like, I feel like if you're able to successfully build up some sort of hype or tension within your video, I think it will go a long way. And another thing that kind of got me going was, so DMG Alex made this video. This is actually pretty recent. It was a Ken combo video for
the Street
DMG.
Fighter one?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
was insane.
love when people take inspiration from like games and then implement it into the video. Like I love that shit so much. Like he straight up like remade the menu.
He recreated
remade
all of the beginning, like the beginning scene from the Third Strike, right? It was insane.
Yeah, it's so sick. And like I love when people do that. So I kind of like taking inspiration from like, you know, especially with intros, like getting a feel for like the vibe of the character, and like it's a really easy but effective way to get people to feel a certain way about your character. Because the thing with Falcon, like I'm going to say before, was he was literally built off of hype. Like he himself could carry the video because he was just sick. He was a very fluid character. He had smooth movement. He had some crazy hype stuff. Like whether people thought it was hype or not, like there was a majority of people that thought so. And then on top of that, like the other thing with other characters is you can implement their game origins into the video, and it feels at home, it feels welcoming, and it also just has like a nice vibe to it too, where you can watch and be like, man, this is the most like very origin montage video I've like ever watched, and it's just like a nice feeling. So in terms of like inspiration, those two are my biggest things, as well as like Relentless Foe. But like I said, we'll get there. That's gonna be a long conversation, but we'll get there.
Yeah.
Okay, so I know I'm the odd one out of this one, but since I was asked with this, I might as well just go ahead. Like I mentioned earlier, I actually did editing before I started with graphic design, and normally like that's like rare that anyone actually ever hears that. At least to my knowledge, it is from what people tell me. I could be wrong, but hey, I mean, like I said, we all start. Well, we all said we all start from somewhere. So again, back then, like it all kind of started out how I became a content creator in the first place when I started to do YouTube. And I actually wanted to do some like creative ideas when making the Naruto Storm videos. And, you know, because that like I saw that there were like other editors that were kind of like doing like, you know, some like crazy stuff with intros and stuff like that. I wanted to get into like, you know, intro making scene and stuff like that. And even though like I was like very horrible at it at the very beginning, a lot of people told me that I had like a lot of potential for, you know, for something so fresh, because again, it was like the same problem that that when you would encounter it within like the Smash community back then. It's like there is a trend of the exact same style and most likely the same music and stuff like that, just different clips and some maybe a little bit of like different execution of the ideas, but it's like pretty much the same thing. I pretty much was, you know, the one that kind of just stuck out immediately, and for some reason I just blew up. It just happened one day. But where it really all started after that is in 2014, and I never thought I had to utter this title again in this podcast, but this was at the time that I switched over to doing Kingdom Hearts content. And after that, I, you know, like I said, I just went off. I went off on that one especially for that, and, you know, doing like the magical effects that Kingdom Hearts had, it had a very, very influence onto what I do. And, you know, I had a few nicknames. I had, like, you know, Mr. Particle Man or, like, Mr. Effects Heavy Guy and stuff like that, because a lot of people admired me for replicating the exact same art style of Kingdom Hearts. And, you know, a lot of people would tell me, they'll just be like, I thought this was actually from the scene. You did that? And I'm like, yeah, no, I did. Because I was just so interested. It's like, how do they actually make it? Like, you know, how is this actually possible? So it's like, okay. But what I wanted to do is the fact that, like, I had to, like, develop my own style eventually. As much as I was really good at, like, you know, doing the replication type of art style, I had to also have my own flair to it and such. And I will say, to when I start branching off to the many art styles that I do now, like, with both of what I do, with my editing and graphic designing, was definitely Persona 5. That part, I will say that, like, I learned a lot from trying to study that art style and such, and doing a lot of designs for it. It took a lot of trials and errors, and even though I was like happy with a few products and such, I always had like, it's also one of the reasons why I replay the game. I actually had that little mini conversation with Crunch before we actually start recording this podcast, but it's just so pretty to look at, like, you know, the menu art style and stuff like that. I'm just like,
oh, definitely, the aesthetic is absolutely beautiful.
Yeah,
it's so beautiful, and I'm just like, and you know, it has my colors too. The red, the black, the white, and stuff like that. And I'm just like, I have to do this. And of course, when Persona 5 Royal was coming out, I'm like, I know what I'm doing. I know what my mission is. But because I was pushing myself to do that, I was already doing this, like, when I was, like, switching over to do, like, you know, other type of styles, just besides the Kingdom Hearts. But doing Persona 5 in general pushed me to do a lot of art styles that I've never done before. I've done a little bit some Xenoblade. I've done a lot with like Breath of the Wild as of recently, actually. And one thing that I'm definitely like doing right now, and I'm trying to make it into my own thing, is Ruby. And it's like, because that like I dropped editing for a little bit of a while, like I thought I was not gonna be able to reach to that peak, even though a lot of people loved what I did for like the special effects and stuff like that, and like, you know, combining that with montage clips of like, you know, putting one things to another and such. It's mostly, basically what I'm trying to get here is that it's mostly with the series and franchises, it's got me to like what I want to do and where I'm at right now, and it's not gonna stop from there, obviously. But it's most of the things that like giving me that type of interest, towards like, if I like it enough, I'm gonna have the drive to continue to like expand onto my horizons and such, and do what I can do, because it's like, wow, I can do this. What if I could do that? And, you know, like I said, like, you know, recently, like now I'm expanding to like Spider-Man. The one thing I definitely am still struggling, but I'm still trying to do, is the Devil May Cry series now. That I'm like trying to pop off with it. I'm gonna do the self-plug into this though, but like the one that I definitely like do more of popping off is basically with the Buried the Light audio visualizer. The audio visualizers has helped me a lot to do a lot of loopings and such, and now I just don't want to stop. It's something that I love doing so much, into like both the aspects of graphic design and the art style that I have right now, because it's like, regardless, like it's so satisfying that people tell me, it's like, even though this is completely different, this is still something that has you written all over it, and I want to keep it that way. But if I had to give the big thanks to where I'm at right now, it's definitely the game, the Persona 5. That was like my biggest inspiration to it, where it's like, you are your own thing, you are you can do this, go off to your own thing. And so here I am.
Well, it's freaking sick.
Yeah.
In general, for all of you. Well, I guess, as for me, like real quick, the first Smash video that I ever did was a montage for the Smash 4 Chic player Blank. She was from my same region, and she was like, "Hey, yo, Dan, like you edit videos, right?" I'm like, "Yeah." She was like, "Do you want to do like a Smash like montage?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." I had never done anything like that before. I actually used mostly Premiere Pro instead of like After Effects and stuff like that for this montage.
Glad you switched.
Yeah. So the thing is that before this, I've done, you know, like mostly just, oh, wait, hi? Sorry, my dog walked into my room. Let me kick her out real quick.
We love Amy.
We do be sending Amy, but yeah, sorry. So, essentially the like two biggest inspirations, I guess, for this video, like the people that I took the most out of, it was definitely Brandon, formerly known as Burgers, and also Apathy. I had been watching their videos a lot, and I wanted to keep it, you know, like more simple, especially because Blank was a super flashy and like very tech heavy player. So I didn't want to take away from like that from the video with like heavy effects and stuff like that, because like the magic of the video was gonna be her playing and how she like evolved the Chic meta in Smash 4, right? So those two were definitely like my inspiration to get into Smash editing. But as of late, it's definitely been Enigma, who is a CSGO editor, but has been doing a lot.
I thought he does Valorant recently.
Yeah, he's been doing Valorant as of late, especially since he joined like Team Liquid, and he did a whole presentation video on their roster for Valorant, and he's been doing Valorant as of recent. But the way he edits, the way he's a very cinematic kind of person. It's just a lot of like very deep scenes with a lot of like 3D stuff and Cinema 4D and stuff like that, and I just absolutely love that.
Yeah, Enigma's crazy, dude. I remember, is he the same one that made you said the Liquid video, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that video was insane. I think that is like one of the best 3D videos I've ever watched for like in a long time. Because do you guys know of my internet's been kind of like cutting out, so I don't know if you guys talked about this, but do you guys know the Clockwork video that was for CS:GO?
That sounds familiar,
Yes,
but I don't.
It sounds familiar. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was made by, oh man, I'd have to look it up during the discussion and bring it up later, but I think her name was like Nikki Edits, I think, or something like that, and she made a series of like montages and whatnot. And,
Nikki
like,
HD, right?
Nikki HD, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, Clockwork 4 is the like one of my favorite videos of all time. It is so
It's
crisp.
incredible.
Like, not only is it like, you know, a lot of like Cinema 4D stuff, and she recreates clips, but she also like is really good at sound engineering and like designing and whatnot, because she literally made her own personal mix of multiple different songs from like, you know, a list that she picked, and made it into like, she made it specifically for this montage, and it was like a big like song mix for the entire video. And she also brought in like sound bites from like tournaments of like really hype moments and whatnot, and it was just so crazy.
That reminds me
I
of
remember
another
watching that
video.
Yeah.
That we're gonna. I mean,
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. I think I remember.
I think we all know.
Dude, I'm gonna let y'all start on that because I got a lot to say about that.
so I guess we can.
That's gonna be a crazy conversation.
I think it's as good as time as any, honestly. Talking about inspirations.
Yeah.
So, for people who don't know, we're talking about Relentless Flow, the Falcon montage that's been brought up a few times.
Oh, it's that time. Well, all right. Let me get my drink.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I've been aching to talk about this, dude.
Okay.
Go off, Kings. You got this.
Okay, just a little backstory before we get into the discussion about the newest video that came out. Relentless Flow is a Falcon montage series that's been. The first video came out in 2016 and the second one in 2017, and it is easily the most popular Smash like edited montage, like by far. There's no competition.
Without a doubt.
Like 100,000 views, maybe 2,000 or 200,000 on the entire series. It's easy.
Which is like huge for like Smash,
Especially for like
editing,
edited and any kind of things. So, and it had a bunch of like huge Falcon players. Fatality, Kashmir in Smash 4 on Relentless Flow 2. Crunch was in there. He'll talk about his experience later.
Yeah.
And just a bunch of other people, and it's inspired so many people to just get into the community in the first place. And Relentless Flow 3 came out on Friday. And oh my god. It's a video.
Yeah.
And as someone who talks to Advent very regularly, like he's a really good friend of mine. He edited the video, if you don't know. Just seeing the work he's put in that video for over a year it's honestly incredible. Like, I'm sure he's put over like 1,000 hours into After Effects to try to make that video happen, and
Oh my god, yeah.
it's like screen sharing with him, seeing
you can
previews.
notice it.
Yeah, seeing screenshots and seeing previews of them, I was like, shit, dude. Like, how much time did you put into this? And like, you could tell in the final product, this dude, it's the best. I think it's the best edit, period. I think it's easily the best montage. It's definitely top 5 edits in the entire community. It's incredible.
Yeah. I'm giving y'all room to talk, just so you know. I'm gonna go off. So whenever you guys end, I'm coming in and you can't stop me. I'm just gonna let you know.
This man is mustering up a level 7 in here.
I'm probably gonna leech out of like from the little topics that you guys are gonna be talking about. Just commented on that.
Yeah, so like,
But like, Jesus Christ, watching it was an experience. Like, I woke up to like the notification on the content creator Discord for Smash, and I saw like Relentless Flow 3. I was like, yo, wait a minute, hold up. I clicked on it. I had just woken up. I saw a minute of it and I was wide awake. And like, I'm someone that takes a long time to wake up. dude, I had to go back on so many things, going frame by frame on so many things that I was just like, this looks absolutely beautiful, dude.
And like, it's crazy to me, especially like, I was like, since I was in VCs with him and while he was making it, I was like, hey, maybe you should try this thing and maybe you should try this out. Like, and he would try it out and it would work, and it was like the most satisfying thing hearing his reaction, seeing it work. Like, oh my god, dude, it was so much fun. Like, just even talking to him, and it was an honor working, or like even like giving him advice on things like that, like opinions on what would look good. And it was, the final product shows like how good it is, you know.
Yeah, and like, how much time it went into it. That's like another thing that a lot of people don't understand. Just like a quick parenthesis, the amount of time that goes into working in a video like this. But I'm pretty sure we're gonna talk about that later. So yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'll touch a little bit upon it. Obviously, we will later. But like, you know, when I watched it, there was definitely a lot of passion, and like, I don't know if you guys get that feeling too, but it's just like when you look at it, like, you know, when a video is edited, like you can tell that there's love into it, or when there's some type of void that's there, and it's just like, I don't know if I want to like say that I like this video or not though. But
tell
for
me
that
about it.
specific, yeah, no, I don't know what it is. We all have that instinct, and it's just like when I watch that video, I'm just like, oh, there is a lot of heart and soul into this. Like, okay, and here's my one thing that I want to get this straight. Like, if there's like an edit that you don't like sure, like you could say all that much, because like, you know, again, to how you give your criticisms and to like your takes on an edited video and such, it's subjective, of course. That's something that's always to be kept in mind though. But you cannot automatically call it trash just because it has certain things that you are not exactly looking for whatever it is. Like I said, I will want to enjoy it for the way of what it's supposed to be, not something that, like, you know, that should be set to a standard by a community. I think that's just not right, you know? And when I watched that video, I just was like, wow. You know, let's just say, like say for example, even if there are people that don't like this, you cannot, like, deny the fact that there was just, like, you know, a lot of effort and, you know, love into the video. You know, you have to at least respect it where, you know, the effort and the time that's being put into. That was a lot right there for what I watch. I'm like, whoa, oh my god. Like, you have some type of strong willpower to do all of that and to construct it all to a video. Beautiful.
It's almost
very, very, very
it's almost
beautiful.
overwhelming to see like how much, it's like you could tell how much work was input into that. It's like, it's almost overwhelming to see how much like crazy shit is in it. That it's like, I don't know, I can't see it being topped anytime soon by anyone.
Definitely, 100%.
All right, Crunch.
Okay. All right, we all went our level 3s. Go ahead, King.
Let me just plug it in real quick. The second section of this video gave me chills, and I cannot stop watching it. I literally have seen it like 50 times. It's absolutely magnificent. Anyways, continue.
Okay. I'm gonna try my best to not ramble because, oh man, all right, I'm just gonna start it. So,
Well.
I've been a part of like the Smash community since like very start of Smash 4. And so a lot of the montages back then were pretty simple, cut and dry. Like, I'm gonna bring up Trifros, excuse me, for example again. Cinematics back then, like when you implement them into montages, were very simple. There was not a lot being done to it. I think the most I had ever seen before Relentless Flow was like maybe someone would like move the stick slightly, but then there would be like text and typography that would carry it there, and then it was like entertaining enough. But the guy that edited it, Salty Scrub, who edited the first one, was originally like part of the Smash community, and he was like pretty good. He was a pretty good editor. Like, people,
At the time,
they
he
weren't
was
doing
great.
like anything.
At the time, he was
Yeah,
revolutionary.
Yeah, right. Like, he was pretty good doing stuff, and like there's a bunch of other editors that were in the community that I could talk about too. But like, in terms of Relentless Flow, that was the guy. And like, I remember watching the preview for Relentless Flow 1 because someone accidentally DM'd it to me, and I was like, I knew about a Smash project that was going on that was kind of big, but I didn't know it was a Falcon montage. So like, obviously me being the Falcon man, I'm like, ooh, this is some sauce. So I go right into that dude's DMs, and I don't think I've ever downloaded a video faster in my life. and I watched it, and I was amazed. Like, literally, the intro is so iconic to me, and like the way it was put together. There were so many things I had never seen done in a Smash montage before that was done in that, and like, oh my god, that was crazy to watch. Like, props to all the players and the editor and like Moob for doing it, because like I literally met Moob through YouTube comments. Same with like Apathy. Like, I know them both because I went onto both of their channels and I was just like casually watching Smash Bros content, and they were also like kind of big at the time as well, making their stuff. But that was Relentless Flow 1. It was like pretty game changing, you know. There was like particles into the mix, there was some good typography, the cinematics were crazy, like especially with song mixing. I think that was good too, and like that was the start of like people going crazy with these edits. And then Relentless Flow 2, so I actually tried to get in Relentless Flow 2 around the time that they were like kind of recruiting, and I actually failed because my clips did not meet the expectation, which I kind of figured would happen.
Oh, damn.
Because like, yeah, because like a lot of the stuff that happened, like that was the montage that really pushed like crazy footstool stuff.
Yeah.
And like jab blocking and whatnot. Like that was like the main appeal, but it's just the way you go about it. And I think at the time, I think I don't think there was actually any bias in there now that I'm thinking about it. I was trying to think of people that are in there that might have been kind of like iffy of me like back then, but I don't think there was anybody in that group. But I just remember like my clips did not meet the standards, so I wasn't able to get in there. But I was kind of sad about that because the next person that edited it was AG, and this is like my personal thing, I deem him as like probably the greatest like Smash editor that we've gotten. He is insane. And like if
Crazy.
oh yeah, keep going.
No, he was just incredible.
Yeah, like when I heard he was editing the second one, I was like, dude, this is gonna be crazy. Because then from here on out, I just realized how like special this series is to me. Like, it's historical time marks within the community of like how editing has progressed. And when I watched AG's, dude, I was just as shocked as like the first one. It's like he basically mastered what was done in the first montage and then introduced like 3D stuff and
a
like
lot of new elements. He blew up the drugstore.
Dude, he literally blew up 2 stages.
It was so good. I remember watching it for the first time, and I was like, yo, wait a minute, that blew up? Like, hello?
Dude fucked around and just took 2 stages out of the game by blowing them up. And then, like, the music he used, too, was great. Like, his song mixing was really good as well. And like,
oh my god, the songs
were
iconic. That's a thing that I love about the Relentless Flow series. All the songs are iconic.
The songs are beautiful.
Yeah,
I remember I heard cassette in there, or cassettes. I forgot the name of the song that you guys probably know which one I'm talking about. And I was like, yo, I love this song so much, and it fits so well.
Yeah, like they're just so good. And I just remember like that was also the first one where they like, I think this was kind of big at the time. Like Fatality was on it, and like you typically don't really see collaborations with other top players in terms of like making montages and stuff, because I may have only ever seen that once, but for like a fucking Alpharad video, which is still insane at the time, but like,
but it made more sense because it was like the big,
yeah. It's not
exactly. It's not. It's completely different. Yeah.
Yeah, like doing it for like a quote unquote over edited montage is just nuts, and like I think that was like something the community really needed, and so that was that. I think it was a year after Relentless Flow 2. I resubmitted clips for Smash 4. Initially, what was supposed to happen, I think, was Relentless Flow 3 was going to be the last Smash 4 montage.
I remember that. I remember Advent telling me that Ren was supposed to edit it, I think, or Stratus at the time.
Yeah, originally it was Burgers, and then he dropped it, I think, because I think either he didn't want to do it, or he wasn't like, or I think he just, at a time, wasn't really wanting to edit stuff anymore. And also, like, to be fair, especially when you compare like the first 2 montages, that is a commitment. You literally have to commit time to making that, because like it's an insane series. So
hella.
It'll take you.
It's not something that you can just like. It's not something that you can just go ahead and be like, oh yeah, I'll edit like the next Relentless Flow. Like it's not like that.
And you also have like the bar to live up to, like, you know, like.
Oh my god, yeah.
You have 2.
That can also be stressing. That can also be like very stressing.
Yeah, you have 2 iconic montages that you have to follow up on. Like, how do you do that? No.
Yeah, like that's like relating to that. That's when so I got invited. I think like a year after, and then that's when they also invited. I think it was me, Masa, someone else. There might be like one more from Smash 4 that I can't remember, but we were all there. Oh, it was Maslow. Maslow was the other one, and like that was our group. And then this thing was getting delayed just because of like, well, Ultimate had been announced and we were like, oh fuck, that's like a new game now, holy shit. And like that was kind of a big deal. And then Ren dropped it, I think mostly because of school and wanted to like pursue other things. So we were just kind of sitting there like, well, damn, is this dead now? Like this kind of sucks. And then we picked up Advent because like I think out of all of the other editors, like there's so many people that are like capable of doing it, but like we also were trying to find people that like we thought would put in the time to it and like work on it for as long as they needed. And I think Advent was like our biggest contender, and then he proved that like these montages are essentially like an editor's like, what's the phrase, it's like magnum opus.
Yeah.
Like this is their peak quality content that they will be making, and it's tiring and taxing, but it is insane. And like I was talking to Advent after RF3 and he was saying like, dude, this was like my magnum opus. I don't think I will be able to do anything on the level of RF3 again, because it's like very committing to make a montage like that. And in terms of like clip collection, like those clips are very old. Fun fact, those are like all of my Ultimate clips are 2 to 3 years old. Like literally started the game, it was a completely different meta. This is when Falcon was really like
bad.
Really mid. Yeah, bad. I didn't want to say it, but like he was
sorry,
pretty
man.
he was pretty
I played
bad.
top tiers, he was bad.
Dude, he was so bad, man. Like he was not programmed the way he was supposed to be, but then like over time he got buffed and now he's like pretty good, I would consider. But at that time I was playing him, he was bad, man. Like it was hard to go for clips with him. Like even Moob like wasn't playing him. He picked up like Pokemon Trainer or something, and we were like, damn, like are we gonna get this done ever? And then we kept our clips, whatever we had, but then we kind of thought about it and we were like, okay, well, we're doing Ultimate, right? But like what about Smash 4? Because that was our intention, was to make a Smash 4 Relentless Flow 3. And so after that, they got the idea to combine those two games, so it'd be like a one big final send-off for Smash 4, because that's like where the montage is rooted, and also that's like Falcon's deemed like combo video game essentially, is
100%.
Smash 4, and we wanted to honor that. And so we used a lot of our like older used clips, and like I didn't realize this until like the montage came out, and I'm not even bragging because I'm like the last person to brag, but bro, my Falcon fucked in film, dude. I had like
I don't know why, but I feel like every Smash 4 player will always be like, yo, my Falcon though.
Yeah, like it's like I looked at some of my old clips and I was thinking like, dude, I never land this in Ultimate. Like I know it's a different game and you have to go for different stuff, and like just the way you do like combo video-esque clipping is like a lot different. But I was like, dude, I don't know if it's just Smash 4 Falcon or what I did, but I was like, this is tight.
No,
and like I was just watching that like, damn. Because like Ultimate, dude, I didn't have much in there.
Let me tell you something. Smash 4 Falcon had finesse. That's what he had. Like, it was just finesse, literally.
Yeah, like that character was so saucy, and like if you compare it to Ultimate, like I didn't have too many Ultimate clips because, okay, truthfully, bro, Masa carried the fuck out of RF3.
Oh yeah, from his
he has
Ultimate
so
clips, yeah.
many clips.
His clips were incredible.
Dude, I used to be so jealous of him, like to the point where I didn't even like him, because he just got like the most ridiculous shit in like Smash 4 and like
even in Ultimate,
also in Ultimate. Yeah, and then but quickly though, I was like, I know he's a good guy. I just hate the fact that he is getting like ridiculous clips, and it almost like I was like, damn, should I even be in RF3? Like, what the fuck?
The classic like
look at his clips,
am I
like,
even worth it?
Yeah, but then I thought to myself, I'm like, well, I guess the clips are like decent enough where people will be content with it, and like everybody else has like insane stuff as well. And in terms of the editing, dude, like every preview he showed, I think he showed like 20 previews in total, from when he started to when he finished. It was all like, he had a lot of like filler filler space, like, you know, black screens. Like, he started off, it's the classic, really. Like, you put the clips on your timeline, you sync it up, and then you kind of figure out what you want to do from there, and then you just kind of adjust it as you go by with it. But, dude, all of the, like the concept was cool. He actually had, like, a little, like, storyline thing with the whole, like, the portal. Like, you know, he comes from Smash 4 to Ultimate, then Ultimate back to Smash 4.
Oh, that was incredible. That was so sick.
That
was so sick.
Yeah, because I was like, what the fuck am I watching? And then I kind of understood later on. I was like, oh, he's traveling Smash games. That's tight. And
that's one of the best things. That's one of the things that I absolutely love with videos like this. When you have a storyline, when a video has a storyline and you can get it, and it's not something that's like super like out there, you know, it's something that like that it makes sense when you think about it, but if you don't really think about it, it just looks like something like sick, like a sick cinematic or like a sick like something. But once you like find the meaning behind it, it's so sick to me.
For sure, dude. Like, I consider that. Oh yeah, keep going.
Oh yeah, okay. No, that was like the impression felt that I got out of it. Like, I don't know. Like I said, it was like an editor instinct because, like I said, I have not seen like most of the like the previews of Relentless Flow 3, but for what was talked about to me from other people and such, I was just like, I'm really excited for this, and it's stuff like this that I just have like a newfound appreciation for. Like, there's a reason why these clips were selected. There's a reason why this was made the way that it is. And I love it, like, if it goes well, I just love the execution for that. And I believe that Relentless Flow 3, it just excelled at that with flying colors. Like, it was beyond me. I loved it.
Yeah, dude, like, when I look at Relentless Flow, I guess this is the last thing I'll say, because surprisingly, I did not ramble. I actually probably would have rambled on for, like, a long time. But the last thing I'll say about it, though, for sure, is that when I look at, like, every Relentless Flow, it's so nostalgic for me, even though it's only been like maybe 4 or 5 years. And like, I think it's so sick that each montage holds like some sort of benchmark for the community.
Yeah, definitely.
Because it almost serves as like a video that people can follow and look at, like, all right, what was like the meta back then? What's the meta now? And it's like pretty cool because I think this gives editors a lot of like inspiration to try out this stuff themselves. And then eventually when the next Relentless Flow comes out, like, a big fan of the series could be the next editor for RF4. You know what I mean? Like, there's so much inspiration behind it, and it's given birth to a lot of editors, some of which are like, they got ridiculously good fast. Like, dude, Stratus, I remember I was at his level at some point when I was trying to do it myself, and then like 2 months later he made that one Mario video for
Start
Johnny and False Hopes. Yeah, Start. And then I was like, oh, never mind. He just kind of like turned into a god. All right, that's cool.
Yeah,
but, yeah, that's crazy.
And going back into it, it's also kind of like a farewell and like a beginning of a new era to the editing inside of this community, you know? Like,
that's so true.
RF3. Because, especially because of the Smash 4 clips and how much it goes into it, all of this, as you said, new editors are going to look at this, and this is going to be like their inspiration. They're getting a hell of like an amazing start point to be able to look forward to into learning about how to do all of these things.
Like,
which is something that like at the beginning we didn't really have.
Yeah.
Just like just a little side thing. It's like I was talking to Advent before RF3 came out, and I was talking to him about the fatality montage that he made. I don't know if that's people remember that. Like, he made a video for a fatality called Clockwork Overdrive, and he also made an edit called Everlasting, which I was like, I looked at it, I was like, holy shit, dude, you're insane. And he was like, yeah, the video was kind of scuffed, I don't know, it was kind of bad. I was like, bro!
You're like, dude, shut your ass up!
That's literally the DA, or like, not DA, but like, that's like the Advent classic. Like, you compliment him mad hard, and he's like, yeah, well, actually, I could have probably used like less Twixter here. Maybe I shouldn't have done that little like geometry shape right there. And oh my god, the sound was so bad. I'm like, shut the fuck up. You're good. You're gone. Like, come on, bro. Just like,
yeah. But like after looking at Relentless Flow 3 and like seeing how he was proud of it, like that gave me a lot of like satisfaction. Like, especially,
dude, same.
Like, okay, if you're happy with it, then I think the rest of the community is going to be happy with it.
For sure.
It was really important of what you guys have mentioned because, like I said, like, you know, at least from my perspective, like, you know, I have to watch the video more than once to see of like exactly of like obviously like I get the idea for you know, as I'm watching it though, but it's like I have to rewatch it more than once. I don't like to like, you know, just one. If I only watch this edit for the one time, I most likely did not enjoy it. But with this, I think I watched it like 3 or 4 times and well worth it. But anywho, it's just like the stuff of like what values he wanted to implement of this edits and such. I feel like that's something that's like a precedent for all editors that like, especially new ones, ones that are still trying to improve and such. Like it's something that they have to keep in mind for, because a lot of the things that I saw in there, it was like, wow, that was a bonus. Like you get more points for that. Oh my god, beautiful. We stand. We love it here. We love talent.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh my god, that was.
Godless.
I just like that there's
Godless
so many
stuff.
things. Yeah, I just like that there's so many like different, even like Danish dude. Like I know people know him more for like his I did this in 3 days type of videos, but like dude,
Yeah.
honestly, back when he used to make combo videos, those were so fire.
They were good. The one that I remember the most about him was the Persona one. The Persona Wolf.
That was edited by
theme video
AG,
for.
though.
With the Wii Fit one, right?
That,
The Wii Fit,
that was
yeah,
edited
yeah.
by AG, and it was like, oh my god.
Oh really now?
Yeah.
Oh well, still.
Oh, that's
Oh,
right.
yeah,
I
yeah.
that
remember.
explains so much. God, man, AG is so good.
Oh my god.
For me, it's like Link the Tactician, which was like a nice
yeah.
little series. Dude,
like
I
the one
love
that had like a
video.
little like storyline and like,
Strategist 5, or like the Strategist. series.
Ooh, that video was tight too. Oh my god, so good.
Smash
They're
Hitting
just
is
so good for like
man.
different
Like,
reasons. Yeah.
I think the one video that always stuck with me, like it was like my main reason why I wanted to keep like, you know, I actually wanted to learn a lot more with like the Smash editing and such of around the community, was Apathy's video. It was uploaded in the DMG Alliance channel. It was a Shulk video and it was called Attack 5.
Oh yeah. Jack.
It was
Oh,
it was a
classic.
nice one. Yeah, that it was really good, and I was just like, wait a minute, he did that? Wait, those were not actually from the game. Wait, hold on. And I had to think about that, and I'm just like, I need to learn a lot more about this community and exactly of what they're doing here. And I've just been, I've been here for it. It's just so like eye candy to view and such for all these other editors and such, that I just wanted to like take the time. Like, as much as that, I have never done a Smash edit, though, but it's, like, it's one of those moments where I'm like, if I had a lot of time, if I just had at least, like, just give me a month, 1 full month of nothing. It's that type of inspiration that I actually want to do something with, like, with the Smash editing scene. Maybe one day it'll happen. I don't know. But it's stuff like that it's, like, I want to have this type of appreciation for those editors, see what they could do, see of, like, where their potentials are hitting. And, you know, when I watched Relentless Foe 3, it just gave me that reminder of that. I'm like, I have not seen Smash edits in a while, and this kind of roped me back into it, especially if I don't have much time in my hands, you know?
Right.
But
it's just art, dude. It's just art. I
Yeah.
freaking love art.
it's art, and, you know, that's what bothers me about it. It's like, you know, like, the way of how people do their editing and such, you're gonna call it bad just because, like, there's so much going on with it? Well, I mean, sorry, but nobody asked, but anyways.
Oh, true. People complain about these things.
They do, yes.
I think some of the complaints, like, oh wait, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Okay, dude, I feel like I'm like accidentally cutting off less. So I just want to make sure, but like, I feel like with the complaints that people have, I think nowadays it's sometimes justified. Sometimes, like, I want to emphasize sometimes, because I feel like there are things that editors tend to rely on too much, or they might do too much of this or a little less of that. And I feel like if to enjoy a video, like, some people, when they talk about like, oh, I can't see the clip, it's like, that's very dependent on like how it's actually edited. Because if you legit cannot like put 1 and 2 together and figure out like what they did, like, I don't think it's that great, because, you know, I don't want to assume a combo, you know what I mean? Because like if it's implied in the video, then I'm fine with it. But I like, that's like my only critique about like it just being visually seen. But I think a lot of the critique is just so bad, because people aren't ready for these type of videos, and they never will be.
They don't really have,
And,
like-
when I
oh,
look
sorry.
at no
They
keep
just-
going. I think you were gonna say what else.
They just don't have valid criticism, I think. It's just like, They
Yes.
say like, "Oh, my eyes bleed. This is making my eyes hurt." Like, bro, do you have any?
I hate those comments.
Like, it's not that's not valid criticism at all, and it's like you don't have like anything that you can. What do you have any criticism that like we can use instead of like saying, like, "Hey, Tone, this effect is kind of weird" or whatever. It's just
Yeah, exactly.
It's just kind of like
infuriating at some point.
yeah, it's really infuriating. Like it's like a hiding under an umbrella of like different like complaints. It's like just try to have something else around, or like something else that you can point out that like you can give valid criticism on, because just saying one like phrase is not going to help us anything, you know?
Exactly. And it also
Right,
goes
yeah.
back
It's like kind of
into, like,
insulting, actually.
Yeah, and it also, I feel like it's connected to the like argument that we've said multiple times of like the difference between a montage and an edit
Yeah.
that people just seem to not understand ever.
Like, that's why all my videos are like less than a minute, you know? Like, do you really think a montage is going to be like less than a minute? No, of course not.
Of course
even-
not. Of course not.
I even say like in all of my edits at this point, like, hey, these clips are staged, don't focus on combos. And yet I still get people that are like, hey, the combos aren't very good, bro. Ugh.
And it's like, bro, learn how to read.
Oh my god. Yeah, like if it says edit in the title, then put 1 and 2 together and figure out it's an edit. Like if it is a montage, like that is kind of implied that the clips are supposed to be good. But whenever I look at edit, I always like leave that expectation behind, and I think like, all right, well, I'm about to see some like visually crazy stuff, and like I don't care if I look at the combo.
Right, yeah.
At the
Which
point,
people
it's more
understand.
about like what I was talking in the video, at the beginning. It's more of like a music video at the point, and I'm all down for that. But people are just like, "Oh, I don't get it. Why did you transition this way? I couldn't finish watching the combo." And it's like, bro, it's not about the combo. Listen to the music. Look at how aesthetically pleasing everything is. Like, look beyond what you're already used to.
Like, yeah, and like,
But it's a lot to ask.
yeah, as like, I mean, I made a full 3D video, like all 3D cinematics, like, and it's like at that point, like if you're gonna put that much time into like a 3D cinematic or like making a full like 3D video, I hope that you can like see, at least have the viewer see that it's not about the clips itself, you know? It's
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate it because, like, you know, like, it's like what I mentioned, like, at the very beginning. Like, you know, there's, like, a lot of trash talk of it on Twitter. And, you know, like, the masses just comes in out of nowhere and such, and, you know, just trashing these editors. Like, you know, they'll be like, oh, well, like, no, they just go on and be like, oh, well, this editor's trash because he did A, B, and C as, like, you know, as a type of edit. I'm like, okay, so what's the problem? What is the problem with it? You're not actually giving the valid criticism of what it's supposed to be. You're giving something that's supposed to be that sounds like a little bit entitled of what you want the video to be. And I think that a lot of people confuse that, especially since this is a Smash game. Like, I get it. Like, you know, a lot of the stuff is coming from like the hits and such though, but it's like it's not always that way.
yeah, I think that's part of
You know?
the like
Yeah.
the Smash community in general. It's like, I've seen this a lot in the Smash community, like especially if like a new fighter is getting announced. Like if this is not this character, then it's bad, you know. It's the same kind of deal. It's like if this is not edited the way I want to, then it's bad. It's not.
There's a lot of that. There's definitely a lot of that.
It doesn't make any sense, and like I don't understand the point of that ideal. It's like, you know,
it could also just be expressed in a different way, you know? Because, like, it is completely valid for someone, as a spectator, obviously. Because, like, as an editor, sometimes you get to, like, value a little bit more things out of an edit, you know, like the syncing or, like, the effects or, like, the concept or something that you can always, like, look at and be like, okay, this could have been done a little bit better. And obviously the criticism is going to be different because we understand what they're trying to do. But, as an spectator, I'm sorry, my English sometimes freaks out. It could be worded in a completely different way as well, in my opinion. Because, like, yeah, if you don't like the video, there must be a reason why you don't like that video. Like, an actual reason why you don't like that video. So instead of just being like, I can't see anything, everything is trash and flashing lights, it could just be like, alright, maybe he just didn't like the color grading. The color grading could have been a little bit better, you know, like if it was too exposed or something like that. If they don't have the knowledge of that, like, wording, it was too bright. If somebody says your video is too bright, you like can put 1 and 2 together and be like, okay, the exposure was like, it was overexposed and stuff like that. But they don't do that. They communicate it. They voice it in a very different way, which ends up just being harsh rather than actually helpful in any way.
I saw a tweet from I don't want to like go back to him, but I saw a tweet from Nick. He said that if people are hating on something just like randomly, then their opinion isn't valid. But it also goes to the same thing, like if they're just praising shit like just with no like point across, that also is like that's not very good criticism either, or even
Criticism either,
yeah, it's like the best place you're gonna find like actual like real advice for how to improve is through like a personal setting, like through people that you know are good and like people who will give you honest criticism and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? It bothers me because, like, you know, I also seen these complaints, the thread. I actually saw a dedicated thread. I don't remember who wrote it though, but like, he was kind of like this Twitter user. He was like going off about like, oh yeah, well like why do editors do these days and stuff like that, and like, you know, they actually made dedicated meme videos. Like, oh, this is what all Smash editors do nowadays and stuff like that. It's like, okay, and who asked? I don't recall anyone asking, but like, you know, if you don't like it, I mean, that's fair. That's your opinion and such, though. But like, you can't say that your opinion of it is fact. You know, you have to start treating it that way. And of course, like the guy was trying to get the massive supports for that, and it's just like, well, you know, and since apparently he had that much of knowledge of editing and stuff like that, it's like, okay, well, what is the one thing that we're all what we all editors are going to say? Go ahead and do it yourself.
Yeah.
I don't know, just that thread specifically just made me very upset because it's just like, wow, like, you really went out of your way just to, like, say, like, you know, subtweet these, you know, the editors, or, like, randomly go, like, oh, yeah, this editor is so trash. It's like, wow, this is kind of sad. Like, this is all you really expect to be, like, this is all that you really want to be part of the Smash community for and make it to the way that it's supposed to be? Dude, you got a reality check coming, but good luck.
That's why I take advice from editors and editors only, because I'd be looking at YouTube comments sometimes, and these people be saying, this shit sucks. You look like the kid from Polar Express. I'm like, where the fuck did that even come from, dog? Like, and this isn't even like a heavy edited video either. So like, I always like take advice and criticism from like other fellow editors, even if they're like starting out. I know for a fact they have like an idea and like maybe a fix to something. It doesn't matter how long you've been editing for. Like, I'll take advice from anyone that's like within the same field, because maybe they have a good idea that I don't know about, because God knows that they could probably be the next like big editor in the community too.
Yeah.
It's like, if you know the terms, then I can give you a video and then expect like solid criticism. You don't even have to praise me either. I think like praising only stagnates progress, because if you think that someone's doing good, they're not gonna like change it or improve it or do anything. They're just gonna keep it the same. But with criticism and like, you know, going against what maybe you did in a video, people will look at it and then think, okay, I'll fix it, or I'll add this instead, and then from there you just start to improve. So saying things in a comment section like your ass or you smell like shit is like kind of not
It's out of
productive
pocket.
criticism.
It's literally just out of pocket.
Yeah, out of pocket for sure, and it's just annoying.
Yeah.
It goes back to my point because, like, you know, like I said, like, we editors, we strive to improve. We want to try out new ideas and such. But, you know, saying that, like, oh, yeah, well, it's not edited the way I want to and such, or, like, you know, it's trash or whatever, you know, no one wants to listen to that eventually. And it sucks because it's just like, you know, they make the entitlement comments where it's like, oh, well, they're supposed to expect it, especially if they want to cater to having an audience and stuff like that. It's like, you know what? Here's the thing, and this goes with a lot of aspects of content creators, editors, designers, all of that. You know, we editors, we want to produce something that we will also want to be happy with. You know, this will all vary depending if this is a commission, stuff like that, whatever the case it may be. Because that we enjoy what we're doing, we want to go higher than what we usually can do. You know? But
Yeah.
if you're gonna sit here and just be like, oh, well, they didn't do this for me and stuff like that, it's like, it's not just about you viewing the video. It's something that they also want to be happy with. But, of course, it all comes from, like, a two-way street. It's like, you know, the editors, the viewers, and basically the actual person who's actually editing the video until it's actually produced, or a group of people, But
Yeah.
it's just so disgusting the way that it's just like like you're really gonna say that like, oh, like when is this person gonna like edit and stuff like that and like make the entire like, oh well, he's actually trash because A, B, and C. Cut it out.
Yeah.
Also, another thing that I also saw too, and I just wish, I know this mentality is never gonna stop, but it's just comparing editors
I hate
to another editor.
Comparing,
so
comparing is
I don't even hate
one of
that in the
stupidest
editing
things.
community. I hate that just in general. Like
In general.
especially like
Yeah.
I've seen that a lot in like the graphic design community. It's like, it's like I don't. If you really shouldn't compare two different people or like even like a tier list or anything, because like everyone has their own different style and like no one can like definitively say like this person's better than this person or this person's better than this person,
It's so degrading.
Everything is just like everyone has different taste. Nobody is ever going to come out and be like, yeah, this person is like the greatest. Like it's never gonna happen. And in general, just like you just don't compare. Like I don't know if this ever happened to you guys. Like if you guys have brothers or something like that, the classic like, well, your brother's doing that. It's like, yeah, that's my brother. That I'm not my brother. Damn. It's exactly the same with like editing and exactly the same thing in this. It's like, why did you do this? Why don't you? I got this comment once actually. I remember that I got a comment like this once. I uploaded like one of those, one of those times in which it's like very late at night and you don't know what to do, so you like pull up like a 10-second edit or something like that just because.
Yeah.
And I just like uploaded it and I'm like, all right, yeah, I was like edit this at like 5 a.m. right? And then somebody commented on it saying, why don't you edit like Little Z? And I'm like, huh?
What?
Oh my god.
What do you even have in common with Little Z?
Absolutely nothing. That's exactly why I was like, bro, you're literally looking at two completely different like things. Like Little C doesn't even like do the stuff that I'm doing right now. It's like a completely different spectrum of content.
Yeah, like not only that, but I would have just said, just go watch Lil Z.
Yeah, exactly. Like if you want to go watch Lil C, if you want more Lil C type of videos, then go watch Lil C, dude.
For real. Like, what is that? What kind of what? That is such a weird comparison. Dude, I hate when people compare like these type of edits and then say like, man, I really wish you edited like insert like 1 million subscriber channel that like the editing caters to a massive audience.
Yeah.
I'm like, dog, we are a niche community, and if you don't like our niche, then get out.
Yeah.
It's like so degrading to get comments like that.
It's just like from the like I say this because like the fact that I saw actual like people comparing other editors that way, like, oh well, this person is better because he does more flashy effects than this guy that just does something just it's like that's basic and simple. It's like, who asked?
Yeah,
Nobody.
literally. Like one of the things that I used to like a lot about Brandon when he edited Smash stuff is how simple to an extent it was. Like how it was more about just the syncing and about like letting the video flow rather than all of the geometric figures or like glitch effects and stuff like that. And that's one of the things that I used to love about his videos. Like I don't know.
It's just
I really
just
liked
because
his usage of colors and stuff.
Oh, his
Me
color
too.
grading was really pretty.
Yeah.
Very. It's just like the fact that like because that like in terms of like oh yeah, who uses more effects is the better editor, or who uses the less effects is the better editor. It's like there is no such thing as a standard for that as to like this top name us to oh yeah, this is the best editor in history. This is the best editor in the Smash community and stuff. No. It's not always like this. No.
This came up to my head. It's absolutely unrelated, but I wanted to ask it anyways because it like just popped up. Do you guys have any like pet peeves when it comes to editing? Like any pet peeves of like any other editor, like the name for a term or stuff like that? Like my pet peeve is people calling color grading color correction because they're two completely different things. That's my pet peeve. I don't care if you say it like that. Like, oh, my color correction is like okay, whatever. But that's like my pet peeve.
Oh my god, find edges. Find edges is the worst effect I have ever seen, and the moment whenever I see it, I just cringe. I mean, it can look cool if you do it on like different layers and like do blending modes with it, but if you do it like a standalone effect, it's just, especially since how overused it is at this point, it's just whenever I see it, I just shake my head, man. I get so mad.
Damn, I feel it. I feel that because I definitely used it like 50 times for a video that I did like not too long ago, actually.
Oh my god.
Okay, so I have 2 pet peeves. One of them, this is more for like graphic design, but I also see this in editors. And you know, if one of my friends happen to be listening to this podcast, you know who I'm talking about, you know. I called you out on it a few weeks ago. But anyways, I don't like when editors use this font, Lemon Milk. If I find you using Lemon Milk in any way, shape, or form, I am going to come after you. It's no gay. I'm sorry. I am so tired of seeing that font. It is one of the most ugliest fonts I've ever seen. I'm sorry, but
Dude,
no.
what the hell is lemon?
So,
I'm googling that right now. I've never even seen it.
it's Lemon Milk. It's just so. I'm sorry.
Just use Comic Sans, dog.
Stop
Oh.
it. You know what?
Yeah, no, this doesn't. Yeah, no, this doesn't look good.
It was such a common thing back in 2017, and I'm like, I am so tired of seeing this font. If I see this one more time in an edit or a banner, I actually saw this in a lot of banners in the when, like, you know, I used to be like around more in the designing community. It was everywhere, and I'm like, I'm so tired of this. This font is what is like, and you know what the worst part is, that even when I like they try to do different ideas with the font, it's just ugly. No. I'm so tired of that. Like, I'll take anything. I don't know, use Times New Roman or fucking, literally what Crunch said, Comic Sans. I'll take that. Just stop using Lemon Milk, especially for more than one project.
Damn, your hate for this font is absolutely insane.
It's so used, and I'm like, it's so ugly, and no, it burns my eyes.
Dude, my font pet peeve, like when you said Lemon Milk, mine used to be Babus and Beyond the Mountain. Do you guys know what Beyond the Mountain is?
I'm
Let me look that
googling
up.
right
Hold
now.
Dude, that font was used so much in like older Smash montages, and I saw it
Oh,
everywhere.
I know which one
Oh,
you're talking about. I know
no.
which one you're talking about. Yeah, I'm
I
looking
see
at
it
it
now.
right now.
Yep.
Dude,
It's just
that
for, like,
font was used
everything.
all the time. Yeah, like if someone wanted to like pretend to be like artsy or quirky, like that was the font to use.
Yeah, and they just use like this effect, you know, like the classic like writing effect, like I don't know, like cursive writing on top of the freaking like screen or something like that, and it's always like that, dude.
Yeah, like the picture that it comes with on that site too, on Defont, it's like just a black and white picture of a mountaintop, and I'm like,
with the
dude,
yellow
yep.
font on top of it.
Yeah, I'm like, this is some vlog ass motherfucking font right here, like David Dobrik ass shit.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, my God. Actually, I have more pet peeves. Oh, no. Now it's coming. I actually was only about to share a couple, but now I got more. No crap. Okay. All right. So another one that I want to talk about. Now, this is much more for editing. I've seen this a lot in the Naruto Storm community, and I'm surprised I actually found it within the Smash community. It wasn't much, but it was about to get there. If I see the same set of stock particles that I find on YouTube, like, you know, like,
I
I'm
know
sorry,
what you're
but
talking
there
about.
is that special one that's like about 10 seconds or whatever, and if there's not even color on that shit, if you just slap it on there, and if I just, like, it's these particles that, like, you know, they're not, like, it's not some type of glow, but, like, it has some weird mesh flow. I'm gonna have to show a little bit about that later, but, oh my God, I actually saw that, and I'm like, I always see this particles. Like, look, if you want to use particles, that's fine. Or like the stock footage because you don't know how to do particles, that's also fine. Just please do something with it instead of just slapping it on there. It just, I'm sorry, but
You just reminded me of when everyone inside of the Smash community was using shockwaves for everything.
I hated that.
They were, I don't know why, but I can remember at least 4 to 5 edits in which they did this thing of like either particles exploding out of every single hit or shockwaves used for everything.
Oh my god, you're just reminding me
And
of
the
like
worst part is that
a
it's not
dark
like-
time.
Yeah, no, dude, like Remember that one classic like video copilot stock like shockwaves for the DMG intro, like the old DMG intro that everyone started using for everything? Yeah.
I noticed that. I hated that so much. I mean, like, it was cool, but like...
I mean, yeah, it was cool the first time, but after the 7th time, I was like, all right, yeah, cool, I guess.
And the worst part is that everyone started to use it the same exact way. And it was I'm like, okay, it's cool and all, but please turn it into something your own or do something different with it, not just like an exact copy and paste.
Yeah.
Even the color was the same. The color! Oh my God, why?
Make it bold, do something new.
Exactly. And the last thing, like before I go off to more because it was triggering me. The last thing that triggers me, and I actually had to talk about this with a couple friends of mine, is if you don't know how to use Twixter, don't touch it until you know actually how to use it. Because there are times where things that were not in sync or like just things that just happen to look so weird and like, what are you doing with Twixter? Oh my God.
When it just warps so much that you're like, okay, what the hell am I looking at?
Exactly. And you know the worst part about it too is the fact that like, especially if you're gonna use it for like slow motion, put some type of motion blur, please. At least, please do that. Especially if it's not a 60 frames per second video, but you're making it that way, and you have to force it into another me. Just put some motion blur, or don't just don't use it at all, please, please. It is one of my biggest pet peeves. It's just like, if I don't see that Twixter being utilized correctly, or at least in a unique way, just stop what you're doing.
There's definitely a lot of people that like force the sync with Twixter when you can definitely just be like, okay, the kick is right here. Let me put the last hit of my combo in this marker and then just let it roll. And it works. Sometimes it just works. That's one of the things that I love. When you just put something, you don't like move it at all, and it just works. And I'm like, thank God.
Oh yeah, one of the most satisfying things is just like if you put a clip down and every hit just like syncs up perfectly.
I know, and you're like, okay, I don't even have to touch it.
You just like go on with your day. Just don't have to do anything. It's so beautiful.
Like, I get it.
It's beautiful,
It's
yes.
not an easy tool to utilize, but it's just like one of those things where it's just like, at least try to learn of what you can do with it rather than just like leaving it there just like that, and like the clip just, it looks all distorted and just all funky. Like, what happened to the frame? What happened to the frames?
And there's a lot of things that you can do with like, I know that Twixter is like, you know, like it's very straightforward with the thing that it does, but you can do like many different types of scenes with it.
Oh, definitely.
That people don't do, but yeah, no need to get into that.
Yeah, no, but that is one of the biggest pet peeves that I've seen, especially because like, you know, it was 2 or 3 a.m. in the morning. I was in the server watching videos, anime edits, mostly of Haikyuu and other anime stuff, and maybe a couple Smash here and there. And it's just when we see Twixter and if it just looks distorted or just it did not come out that way. Like, I get it. Like, there are some edits they put on purpose of distortion effects that would look like oh, what just happened in the video, but there's a way that you can make it look good. I've seen it happen before, but if it actually ruins the clip itself, the video footage, to where it's like, oh my God, like, you know, it's about to shut down, what are you doing? But that's just my small, very, very tiny, teensy little pet peeve. And even though some memories and PTSD is starting to awaken of dark memories of pet peeves that I've seen in edits or like, you know, certain effects, you know, that's all I'm gonna share. Yep.
I feel like there's a really long list, but anyway.
Yeah.
How about you, Crunch? Is there any more pet peeves you got?
I think in terms of like, because I got my font ones out of the way, but I don't know. It's like, it's kind of weird because I don't really edit to the extent that I think you guys do. Like, y'all are very technical. For me, I'm like more, I guess I could call it like storyboard driven. I tend to tell like a beginning, middle, and end in like a very simple format. Just because it's like pretty general. And I think that's just like the thing with like stream highlighters. I'm pretty sure it's like we tend to do that. And the most way I think editing wise that we've done is like maybe masking here and there, zooming, and like Because, you know, everybody loves a good fucking zoom every now and then that gets you the subscribers, am I right? Like, just zooming in good.
Yeah.
Zooming into that camera,
But-
baby.
Dude, I think for graphic design, I think this is disgusting, is the overusage of, like, fisheye or, like, that fishbowl effect that people do.
Oh, I know what you're talking.
Dude, that's
Oh,
the
no.
ugliest shit. I think that is like a meme. That is a meme like scope effect. I think. Like, I don't think people actually use that in the real world. Seriously, like they go, "Hey, what do we want to use for this?" Dude, we gotta use fisheye. Dude, that's facts. That is beautiful. Let's do that. I don't think I've ever heard a single human being like compliment like fisheye. So when I see that shit on like YouTube thumbnails, I'm like, yo, this is gonna be the greatest YouTube poop ever, or the worst serious video I've ever watched. Like, I don't know what I'm getting into, bro.
The only
That is,
fisheye.
like,
Sorry, continue.
so bad. Oh, I was just saying that's bad.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, the only like times in which I've seen like fisheyes be used a lot and it like makes sense and it looks good is in like skating videos. But that's pretty much it.
Oh, okay, that's true. Cause like you get kind of like that. I don't know what it's called, but it's like that scope perspective.
Yeah,
It's
you get
that
like
cool-
more like a wider view of like what's going on and like the tricks look cooler and stuff like that. Yeah.
Believe it or not,
Yeah, like-
I use
That's
bulge
perfect.
on, or like at least a fisheye warp, at least on pretty much every cine I do now, because I at least it.
Wait, you do?
It's like it, as long as it's like very subtle, like maybe 10%, like a 10% bulge on,
There you
like
go.
CC
that
lens
looks really
kind of
good. Not
Perfect. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, just use it effectively. Like, see, that's why you're a good example of this. It's like, you know how to like properly use effects that you're given, or like you look up on like, you know, whatever software you're using. I swear people just use it because they just saw it one time and they were like, yo, I'm just gonna slap this on here.
For me,
like, what
like,
the
I
fuck?
only use it for transitions in some type of way. If I can make it like into something different, the fisheye effect, I would only do that for some type of special transition. Never just something to like have it consistently throughout the video.
Yeah, it's like a one and done thing, or like if like what Kirumi said, like if you use it in a way that's like subtle, I think that's perfectly fine because it does add depth. But if you like max that shit out, I feel like I'm like looking at one of those like Bingus pictures, like that cat looking straight at the camera and
At the
like
camera, yeah.
looks super distorted. Yeah, I'm just looking at a bunch of Binguses right now.
Oh no.
That's really my only pet peeve though, because like I don't do, like I said before, I don't really do the stuff that you guys do, and I don't like go above and beyond in my videos. I just try to make it like simple and enjoyable for like a bigger audience, just because like I'm one of those, I guess. But yeah, like pet peeve stuff, like that's more so from like a spectator perspective. But I think it definitely ties into editing too.
Oh, it definitely does. It definitely does. But I feel you on that. Like, I recently started making mode videos like this because in general, like, I was more into like film and those kinds of stuff. So, most of the time, because I've been editing like as a whole, like video editing, I've been editing for maybe like 7 years or so, and
Wow.
yeah, but it's mostly, you know, like it's been mostly skits, short films, documentaries, stuff like that. Stuff that, like, you know, I got to do for like big companies. Not like I was not gonna go into freaking Univision and be like, hey yo, I'll make a montage of your soap opera, you know? So
Dude, yeah, I love that type of stuff, like filming documentaries and like doing on-site stuff and like editing it in post, I think is really fun.
yeah, no, it's fantastic. And when you get to like have a crew and you get to like see the like production part of it rather than also just the post-production, it's absolutely fantastic. And that's why like I've been trying to like get into this types of edits a lot more, because there's a lot of these edits that you can take into
there's a lot of like skills that you can use, like even if you're not like using all the effects I usually do for like extreme montages or like extreme edits, you can still like, you know, you have more effect knowledge and things like that, so you apply to real stuff.
Exactly, and it's like a lot of things that you see used in a way in which, like, in a montage it'll look like all crazy and all cool, but it can also be used in like many other different kinds of scenarios that you can like do to expand and make your video or like short film montage, like highlight or whatever, better. And that's like the main reason why I wanted to get more into this type of editing.
Same reason for me, a little bit actually. I mean, the way of how I went about to my own editing talent, it was a little bit different from Dan. But it's kind of like the one thing is just like, you know, there's so much that can be done and such. And like the one thing that actually Dan and I want to do this year is learn some 3D stuff.
Yeah, I was actually getting into that.
Hey, I know a 3D guy.
True.
Oh, we do too. Yeah. We're definitely having a conversation later. But okay, so like I this was like a little bit back, but like I kind of want to retract back to this though. It like the whole comparisons thing. I've only rarely, occasionally experienced that. Like I've been like experienced that, like, you know, people going like, oh yeah, well you could be the next Edo Ninja and stuff like that. Whenever I hear that, it's like I don't feel good about that. You know, like especially for like these other editors that are trying to learn and such. Like, you know, especially like when I learned that, you know, they say I'm their inspiration. I feel great about it. But, you know, especially when they make the type of comparison, like they think it's a good thing, but I'm just like, it really is not. I'm telling you this right now because it's like you have to find into your own type of path. You like, I can't just like, you know, there's only so much that you can learn like when you admire and like, you know, take inspiration from an editor though. But it's like, this is the type of thing that you enjoy doing. It's not for that supposed set person.
Yeah, I think
this is about.
I think it's inspirations in general. Like it's cool to be inspired by someone, but like the way you adapt to your own style is just like getting inspiration from a bunch of different sources. Like take a little bit from this person, take a little bit of this person, this person, and like having all of that, it'll combine to make something that's unique to you. And that's I feel like that's true for like a bunch of different like creative endeavors, like graphic design, art, and things like
music,
that,
etc.
Yeah.
You know what's one of the like best experiences that I've had in that sense as of late. There's this editor. He's recently trying to get into the Smash community in terms of like Smash editing. But he comes from the anime community. His name is Vagersphere.
Oh wait, didn't we 3HC? Yeah.
Yeah. I basically told him about it because he was like, again, he wants to get more into Smash editing, but he doesn't have a capture card and he cannot like record cinematics and stuff like that. And when I saw that, and I was like, oh, he can like get the clip pack and get to like edit the stuff that he's been wanting to edit for a while, right?
Yeah.
But that kid, I saw him when he was first starting to learn how to edit. He is basically cousins with a very close friend of mine. Kid started to edit when he was like 14, and I was just like playing Smash with my friend, and he was like trying to edit on the side, right? So I just like creeped up on him. I'm like, yo, what are you doing, right? And I told him, like, I started like giving him advice on how to use like Trickster and how to like use masking, a bunch of things with like transitions and all those things, right? Because he was like just getting started, and literally 2 years from that, the progress that I've seen from him from when he started to how he is right now, that I believe that he is definitely better than me in this types of edits, and how much like he would like take from me and how much I can take from him now is absolutely fantastic. Like it's something that makes me very happy.
That's something that I love, like having like a friendly rivalry with someone, like just having someone that you can like go toe to toe with and like have inspiration or like inspire each other. That's fantastic. I love
it's incredible, especially because like back then he'd be like, hey yo Dan, like how can I do something like this, right? And I like sit down with him and like tell him about it. And then now, like nowadays, it's just like, hey yo, like Bakersfield, like how do I do this, like this thing that you did, how do I do something like that, because I had this in mind and stuff like that. So like being able to go back and be like, hey yo, like this kid that I was teaching like things to, he's now teaching me things. I don't know, I feel like that's really cool.
So this is something I actually want to ask you guys. Do you guys like enjoy doing Smash editing or like editing in general?
I enjoy doing Smash editing more than playing the game, low-key.
I love Smash editing. I hate the community. That's
yes.
That too.
That is all I can say, really. It's, I mean, like, it's for me, it's just like a way of getting out my creative like ideas, right? It's like, I don't really have other outlets for like getting creativity out, and like if I can share something I make and have even one person be inspired by me, then I feel like I've done my job, you know? It's like, if I can make one person happy with what I make, then it makes it all worth it in the end, you know?
Yeah, that's how I kind of felt about like, doing editing as well. But in terms of like Smash editing, I don't know. Like the only thing that's really keeping me here is like still editing for Tweak and Riddles and like a couple other people. And I've actually like sent out emails and whatnot, like branching out to different communities. Like I want to get into like editing Valorant stream highlights for like a top player or something. Mm-hmm. I want to edit variety videos for a YouTuber that is maybe looking for something, because I would still want to do like consumer content, because I think it's a pretty good marketing area to get into, but at the same time I also want to be like creative and learn new things when I edit too, so then I can keep my simplicity but also like master technical stuff in the future as well, because I've only really been like taking editing seriously for like maybe a year or two, because like I knew how to edit back in like 2016, but it was very on and off and I wasn't like super active with it. I think there was like a whole year at one point where I just did not edit. Like I just kind of like did my thing. Mm-hmm. So the fact that I like took it seriously in like 2019, I was like, yeah, this is nice.
That's good.
Yeah, I feel like in general, Smash content creators and editors and people like that are kind of stuck within the Smash community. I don't know, like as for me, when it comes to Smash editing, one, I think it's fun to edit. Like I do think Smash editing is very fun, because of the tools that you have to be able to edit it. Also, like since I want to get into doing like 3D stuff and stuff like that, I am 100% sure that if I want to edit a model of a character for, let's say, an anime, it's not going to be possible unless the anime is like CG, right? Unless I can get the model of the anime, because like otherwise transforming that 2D into like 3D is like completely different, yada 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 yada. But for as an example, like I know this guy, You're Too Slow, he's been wanting to branch out from Smash for the longest, but he's just like stuck with Smash because otherwise he gets no views. He gets no like actual anything if it's not Smash. So I feel like
that is a huge problem.
Yeah, and people can't branch out.
I saw this like comment from, I don't know exactly who it was from. It was from a bigger YouTuber, but it's like, if you are passionate about something and you know it's good, just stick with it. It doesn't matter if it's like even if it's a derivative of your current content. If you make something and you know it's good, people will watch it, or you will find an audience for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because like Smash, dude, I swear to God, like when I look at like analytics for like videos that do well that are Smash or are not Smash, I'm like appalled by like how much lower and less likely people are, even if they're subscribed, to like come back to that person's channel. And then I think to myself, like, damn, most of these people that watch Smash content creators really only give a fuck about Smash and not the creator.
Yeah. No, it's 100% true. Like the community, like I don't want to get into it, but let's just say that the community is not great.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Great people I've met in the Smash community.
Oh yeah, there's always
literally
outliers, but
yeah, exactly. Like great people that I've met, multiple people that are just like good friends, and some others that I can consider like my best friends, right? Like there's always gonna be that, but as a whole, not too great.
Right.
Yeah, recently it's been a lot harder to like get back into, and like I can't help but feel like this because I know I like have like trashed I've had like a pretty like strong opinion about the community for a while now, especially like as of recent, but like I also have like met some like pretty good people through there, and like I also want to see them get through this hard time, and I want to like still be here and like support the scene, because it's also like not just the fact that it made me, but also like I just like Smash as a spectator sport, and like content wise it's cool, and like I just want to see it go up from there. But like for personal reasons, I also want to like venture out into different things too, because like I don't want to be stuck doing one thing for the rest of my life.
Yeah, especially when it's something that you're not too much into.
For sure.
It kind of reminded me of a little bit of an old story. If there's anybody that's stuck around to me since 2014, you obviously probably have an idea of this story. I'm not gonna go too much in detail about it though, but like, I'm glad that yes, all the way back from there. One thing that I will say that like I'm so glad that at least I continue with editing, and especially to expanding my horizons, because there was this one editor that I actually used to be cool with, but unfortunately there were a lot of things that I found out the truth about him and such, and you know, he degraded me as an editor, and you know, he told me himself literally word by word that like, you know, I'm supposed to be his shadow, while like, you know, his copycat, while he's like the true originator. And I'm just like how so could you live on as an editor, as someone so egotistical, to be this way, you know? And it's just like one, like it was nailed down to my head for a little while, but it's just like when I saw a lot of other creators like doing something that they enjoy and stuff like that, I'm like, why am I literally having somebody that's telling me what to do, of how to dictate of my own art style, and I should only stick to that one thing? Especially at the time, it was Kingdom Hearts. I'm like, I cannot do that forever. I'm just glad that I was able to break out of that. And because of how powerful his influence was and such, it was a scary, scary time, because it's like, oh my God, like, you know, before cancel culture had a label and such, it's just like, you know, it was like one of those things. It's like, oh my God, I'm trapped. But I want to give this message out to the editors and stuff like that. Like, no, there's nobody out there that could dictate to your style. Do something that what you love and grow from it. You'll be a lot more satisfied that way than having this one person or other dictate to the way of how you're supposed to do things. It's fine to accept criticism from other people and such, of course, but remember, always stick to that type of passion, that what you love to do for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that is true. Like, if you love something, just continue doing it, regardless of like what people tell you. That's always been like it should always be like your goal to be able to do whatever makes you happy.
Yeah. But you know, I don't know. It's just crazy. It's the fact that like how you meet around to, especially of your own field that way. It's frightening. It could be good things, but of course, like that, it's something that all of us has to keep in mind and be careful of course.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, with this entire topic of editing, this is the important question that we all have to ask: is over editing inherently a bad thing?
I don't think so. I personally don't think so.
I mean, I'm an over editor, so I'm like,
yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like, I think, like,
he's like, y'all better fucking like it.
I mean, over editing as a whole, like, I just don't think it's like bad. I think it's like a very good way of, like, at least in my opinion, getting like the ideas that you have in your brain to just like splatter into a screen, if that makes any sense.
yeah. That's what, especially that's like what my mindset is whenever I make like a super crazy out there edit. Like, I mean, sure, I understand it's like people aren't gonna like it, but what I want is for people to look at what I do, even if it's like over edited, and be like, I've never seen anything like that before.
Yeah.
And that's really my reason for doing over edits in the first place. It's just like, I want to be someone different than, I don't want to do the same shit everyone else is doing. And I've touched on this before, but it's just, it's something that's important to me, and it's something that I will continue to do despite people, if they don't even like care about what I do. Like, it's something I enjoy, and it's something I will keep doing.
I love that.
Definitely. Like,
I love that.
Yeah, I mean,
I lost my
for me personally, I don't mind over editing. I've always loved it. I like all the creativity that people go through with it, but I also do think that there's like from a spectator standpoint, I've definitely seen my fair share of them that I'm like, okay, look, I love this type of shit, but this is too much. Like, I've seen those fair share of edits before, but that also just comes with, like, you know, living and learning. Like, you just have to fix that for next time, and then you'll be fine. Because, like, for the most part, when people think of, like, over editing, it's such a negative term, right? Because, like, I've only ever seen that word used in a negative way, especially as of like recent. But I just considered them like edits. You know, like, I don't really think there's like a definition of over editing something unless it truly is over edited. Like, I mean, I've seen plenty of like shit post memes and like YouTube poops where they go like crazy on the editing, but like it's to be ironic and it's not meant to be taken seriously. But like, if you want to be taken seriously, it's like, as an editor, you do kind of want to consider like, okay, well, how should I make this so my audience members, like, you know, not only like it, but they also might not see it as like over editing. Because I think what people do is really cool, and I think all the edits I've seen are dope. But I just wish there was like, I wish people could see that there was a different community of editors instead of just like, you know, like I think Dan brought this up, was like the whole Little Z thing. Like, there's a different market for videos, and if you want a Little Z video, go watch Little Z. If you like the stuff that, you know, these quote unquote over editors do, then you can watch that. And, you know, if you have constructive criticism to give, I promise you a lot of editors like really appreciate that stuff. Just, you know, don't call them stinky or tell them they look like the Polar Express kid.
I can speak from experience. Like, if you can give me like valid criticism and not like say like this shit sucks, I can't see shit, then I'll be like, yeah, dude, just please tell me. I want to improve. I want to improve myself as an editor.
Yeah.
Stop slandering my talented friends. Tired of
Pretty
y'all.
much.
That.
Pretty much.
Kill y'all.
I think the only thing that I would like say, it kind of play to like everything. Like if, not even, I don't know. The thing is that like I was gonna say something like, you know, if there's like someone that's making videos and like a quote unquote over editor, right? But like doesn't have really the like knowledge on more stuff in terms of like editing, then it can be a little bit like bad. But then it also comes to the thing that Crunch just said about like there being a market for like those type of things. If there's like, well, again, quote unquote over editor likes doing over edits and he doesn't know how to edit anything else, then go ahead. Like if that's what he wants to edit, then he will edit that and it's perfectly fine. It's like, I guess the most the best this comparison or like analogy that I can use is probably just music. It's like people that are like, oh, I like metal, and some other people that are like, that thing is trash, all they're doing is yelling and I can't hear anything. And it's like, well, if you don't like metal, don't listen to metal, you know?
For my end, obviously, like, I don't like, I'm on the same boat with Crunch on this. I don't like when this term, it has been actually now, you know, it's now surfaced onto the media, but, you know, over edit. I just don't like the term for that, especially to what was just discussed. The most I will say that, like, you know, again, like, I feel like of course, there should be a balance of, like, a lot of things, but, like, that really depends on the editor of what he wants to truly, or she truly wants to balance out. Like, you know, there's overusage of a certain effect, like brightness and stuff like that. That's the most I'll say. Overusage of this one effect, that's it. That is the most I will say if you want to go by that, you know, definition. But other than that, I don't like the use for it, especially the fact that, like, you know, it's looked at as a negative connotation. It's gross. But with everything else that comes with it, like, it's just like, you know, again, you watch it for what it's supposed to be, and if you don't like it, well, again, go to the other videos that you like. If there's certain something that you have a set of expectations of, when you're looking at something, stick to what you're watching now rather than going out to new videos and expecting the exact same thing and criticizing it just because it wasn't made in the way that you want it to be. Well,
Straight up.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say criticize, just more like slander and trash
I mean, you
talk,
phrased
and,
it better than
you know.
I ever could, so I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess just bottom of the line, no, over editing is not inherently a bad thing.
It's not, and the term is just disgusting. Get off the platform for that, please. Touch grass, go outside with your mask on. Wash hands.
grass.
That's so
Pick up a
insulting.
football.
Yeah, shut your ass up and go touch some grass.
I'm sorry, but it's like when I saw over edit it surfaced on Twitter, I'm like, oh, come on. There's no way.
Go touch grass, set up a picnic, do something.
Touch grass. Oh my god. But yeah.
Or go get your vaccine. I'm sorry, but no.
Oh my god.
I'm scheduling my vaccine. I'm so freaking excited. Anyways, continue.
Okay, we stand.
Yes, sir. My lungs do be kind of poop.
Wow. All right. Well, wow. Thank you. Thank
No
you.
problem.
Anyways, so I actually want to get to know a little bit from all of you guys, though. But like, you know, of your guys' editing processes. Like, I don't know if there's like a set way of like how you guys like go around to it, especially of like how long a different video could take to put together and such. Like, you know, what are your guys' like thought process, or like, you know, when you're actually like doing things as much of what you're willing to share?
I mean, when it comes to making a video, like my thought process, or like how I like work up to it, I cannot do anything if I don't have a song. Like if I don't have an actual song that I can like edit to, I can't do anything.
Yeah, that's
That's big.
very similar to me, definitely.
Yeah, so I know that there's a lot of people that are like, oh, I want to use like this effect with like this kinds of things and stuff like that. Like if I don't have a song, I can't really do much. In general, like I'm very successful. So I don't know how to say that word. I'm sorry. English is not my first language. Whatever.
It's okay.
But like I get touched by music. Like music is one of the only things that will like get me emotional and stuff like that. Like I just move depending on like what kind of music is like around me, you know?
Yeah.
Coming from like family of musicians, yada 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 yada. So I usually like get a song and I listen to it a bunch of times, or like one specific section, and depending to what I'm gonna edit, I can visualize what I want to do with that like specific part of the song. So I'm base all of my work based around my around my music. So first thing, obviously, get a song, and then just listen to it until I come up with something I'm like either excited about like creating, or you know, if it's for work, I kind of just try to get it out as soon as I can because due dates, you know. But
Yeah.
that's pretty much it. Like I just base everything around my music. So get a song, and then everything else comes naturally.
For me,
Okay.
montages and montages and edits have very different workflows for myself. Like for montages, I have clips that I need to work with, so like it doesn't really change much. You just put down clips and then do cinematics and things like that. But for edits, it's very different because like I don't really have like a set thing I need to go off of because it's all in my head. But like what I usually do is like if I find a song I want to edit to, I will listen to the song over and over again, and then I like visualize. I don't storyboard anything. I think about every effect and stuff I want to do in my head, and then like I start trying to put that into the editing program or whatever I want to do. And if it's the problem with me, like if I can't get past 5 seconds of like an edit, it gets scrapped. I'm throwing it away. Like I'm not I don't want to work on it anymore. But I feel like if I can get past that initial like 5 seconds of like, okay, this is actually going somewhere, then I will continue to work on it and put time into it, because I don't want to put, or like it's hard for me to put 100 some hours into an edit if it's not going to come out the way I want to, you know? So like if it gets past that 5 second threshold, then I'm going all the way with it. And there's a lot of points while you're making an edit that's like, I don't want to work on this anymore. I want to scrap this. I don't want to.
Oh, it happens so much, dude. It happens so much.
Retweet.
However, the satisfaction you get when you finish that edit, oh, it can't be beat. It seriously can't. And
It's like when you make food and then you eat it.
Yeah.
Like when you eat your own food, it hits different.
Definitely.
It definitely does, and like, it's more rewarding to me than like a graphic design, because like graphic design, when I did graphic design, I did a banner in like a day, so it wasn't. I mean, it still felt good, like putting out something you're proud of, but like for editing, you're putting weeks, sometimes months into a video, like, and when that finally comes out, you're like, oh my god, dude, like it just doesn't feel the same. Like it's undescribable.
Facts.
Like how good that feels.
Dude, I always split it into like 3 different phases of editing. Like, I can't remember where I saw this clip, but it was so funny. But just off of that clip alone, I split it into like, there's 2 satisfaction moments and then 1 like hellish phase. And like the first satisfaction moment is like starting the edit, right? Or like getting the commission. You're like, oh, I can't wait to work on this. It's gonna be sick. I have an idea for it. Then the hellish phase is literally working on it, like
everything
going
else.
through like several fucking crashes and like something doesn't work and the process sucks.
You finish a
the
long
last
ass
satisfaction-
freaking effect, and then After Effects just crashes on you.
Oh,
No, stop,
Dude, yeah.
Stop. No.
The classic.
Yeah, you get the or your computer freezes or something. It's like having to redo that effect again, and you're like,
Yeah.
just sitting there screaming. But the last satisfaction is like finishing the edit, like Yurumi said, like you finish it, you're finally done with it, you don't have to look at it anymore, you can move on to like different better things and ideas. And like I kind of feel that for like, especially with Smash montage editing, like you get the clips and you start off with the music and you're thinking like, oh, I can't wait to make this like banger thing I'm gonna do, but then you're editing it and you kind of struggle at one point and it just becomes hell.
you struggle with
Then
one
once you
thing
get
and then
through
it
there
just
and
the
done.
rest of it, your motivation just drops. It's like I don't want to work on this anymore.
Yes.
And then you can't listen to that song for the next like 2 or 3 months.
Oh my god, yeah. It's like so
Retweet.
done for you. Yeah. I feel that.
So, I have 2 different sets in my case because back then I used to do commissions here and there, and sometimes I used to like do video edit commissions, even though like those drain a lot out of me in comparison with graphic design. Do whatever, like, you know, I'm whipping up a banner or like stream essentials for like, you know, streamers and such though. No, making intros or outros or like even like doing some type of like montage edit and such, maybe not in the same way of Smash, but like I have some type of idea of it. It's like, I need a vision. When it comes to commissions and such, I need some sort of vision of what you're telling me. And if it goes over to the top of like so like nitpicking like every single thing, I'm gonna drop it. I cannot. No.
Oh, you're
Like-
giving me PTSD, dude.
Yes, like I need some type of vision to go off of it. And like, you know, as much as I need certain details, I need to have some type of control because it's like, you know, I'm being hired to do something that they're seeking an audience with me, you know. So it's like, I need to have some type of control and to like my own vision. It's like, okay, because like I said, it's even though like, yes, I do need the money and such, I also want to perfect my own work because I want to produce something that I'm so happy with. And unfortunately, that has been almost nearly an impossible challenge because there are times where I give them videos where it's like, you know what? Just don't credit me. I don't want you to don't say that I made this. Just,
I definitely
just
feel
give me
that
the money,
sometimes.
You get what you
Yeah,
you get,
no,
you get
100%.
what you want.
Like, you
You
just
get-
reminded me about like this one time, dude. Oh my god, I'm gonna expose the living hell out of him. Obviously, I'm not gonna say his name.
Oh.
But like there was this one time, this person was like, "Hey, yo, can you do me like a Smash edit for me, like the one that you did for this person?" I was like, "Yeah, sure. Just like give me the clips and we can start whenever." And I give him like a starting price, right? Price? Yes. No.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you. Sorry. Sorry. Yeah, I got into it and we were like working on it, and obviously I was like, what do you want to do? And he's like, oh, you have like full creative freedom, like go off. And I'm like, oh, perfect, okay, cool, just give me the song and I can start working on it. I started working on it, and my creative freedom went to the trash literally with the first preview of the video. He was like, hey, yo, can we change this and make it into this and this and this? And dude, at the end of the day, just to make the story short, he made me like not sync the video. He wanted like some strange like visuals. The color grading was so bad because he wanted it that way, and he was like, yeah, this is perfect. That I was like, dude, just please don't say that I edited this. And then like he made me start from zero like 3 to 4 times.
What?
Because he wanted to change the song like twice.
Bruh.
And it was just so bad. It was just so bad. And at the end of the day, I was like, all right, look, if you make me start from zero again, or for like the next couple changes that you want, I'm gonna charge you more because I've been working on this for around like maybe 40 to 50 hours, and this is definitely not worth the initial price that I give you. When I said that, he was like, I guess we can wait until Ultimate for my montage. He never spoke to me again, never paid me a single cent. I'm like, okay. Like, all right.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm sorry, but it's like one of those things. It's like I need to have some type of vision for that, and like the moment that like you take away that vision that I actually had something like you'd be happy with and I'd be happy with, then nah, I'm sorry. Then
Yeah.
we're not gonna leave happy here. Which I mean, maybe you will leave happy, but I will not leave happy. Which is why I'm saying, do not credit me. Don't tell any of your friends, any of your viewers that I made this, because I don't want my name to be associated with this. Just give me my money and I'll go. That's
Yeah,
it.
when you commission an artist, it's because you like their style. You're not gonna ask them to change absolutely everything. If you want something completely different, then get another artist that does something more towards like the type of thing that you want. In my opinion.
And I'm not gonna sit here and like just change the literally adjust the brightness to like 0.3%. Like stop, shut up. It's not that much of a problem, especially if I look at it like, you know what? No. It's only 0.3%. They're not gonna go blind, I promise you. But that's like the one thing that like as like, someone commissioning me, that it's like I need some type of vision. In terms of my own personal projects, I will say that, of course, I obviously need some type of music and such. And, like, of course, I usually have to play my games. I usually have to, like, I literally just, like, play around with a lot of shit. And it's like, okay, what is going to work, what is not going to work. I take it for what I learned, and after that, I just go off. That's it. But yeah, no, literally, it's just, I mean, it really depends. It's like, not just like with music, because again, like I also specialize in other things when it comes to video editing. But, like I said, it's like, I just try to see like what works and what not works and like what alternative I can do. And then after that, I can just give it the Edo flair,
Yeah.
So at least that's just like for me. Obviously, like, yeah, no, most of the time it does come with like the music, especially if it involves with that. But if it doesn't, then it's like, I just do a lot of playing around. But of course, like when it comes to the music, I just listen to the ones that like I heavily like enjoy so much, and then after that, I just get a huge surge of motivation and inspiration, and I'll just go off. So, at least that's how mostly it worked for most of my projects, especially heavily relating into the audio visualizers that I've made. But that's about it on my end.
I guess I'm last. I guess in terms of like what I do when I'm editing and whatnot is like if I'm doing a Smash montage, obviously like Dan said, I start with the music because like I can't go anywhere without the music because that's what stems the inspiration in the first place. And then when I put it on the timeline, for me, I try to keep it as like simple as possible. But if I do think of things I could do that might spice it up and whatnot, I'll probably add that to the table. But other than that, my process is pretty simple. I also want to get into like, I know we have our things to like get into like 3D and like Cinema 4D or like some other programs. I also really want to work on like sound design and like getting better with like sound effects because I think sound effects play such a cool role in like videos. It was especially shown in Relentless Flow 3 with like it wasn't just like average whooshes and like whoosh sound effects and whatnot. There was actual like some really sick sound effects. Like I think one of them was a jet engine for like some sort of build up. And I was like, dude, I never thought about like using environmental noises for like Smash montages. I think that's like so sick to utilize. And it just got me thinking about that. And like
I gave Advent my audio tag, which is you shot Toon Link, and then he put it in the edit. I was so happy as like a part of the sound design. I was like how do you?
Oh my god, that's great.
That's amazing.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's somewhere in there.
That's great. I love that.
Well, I think we covered about like with mostly everything, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Then there is one more thing I'm gonna add in before we do our sign off. If there is any piece of advice or something that you would want to say to editors or like, people that are viewing edits and such, what advice do you want to give to them?
Don't compare yourself. That's going to hinder you.
Definitely.
That was something I really struggled with. And I think ever since I kind of dropped that mentality, I've been more open to trying new things. I've been open to failing, because how are you going to be good when you haven't failed? I think that's really important. And editing, honestly, is like, I know there's people that are scared about like, collecting clips or like trimming VODs or like whatever type of editing you're doing. But I think as long as you stick with it and like get used to the process, I think it's really fun and you can create some really cool things. And I feel like there's a lot of creative minds out there, so don't feel limited by what you can do. Express yourself in the fullest way possible, and do the best that you can do.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Crunch pretty much hit it right on the head. But it's like, if you're just starting out, don't worry about like making things look good and how it compares to other people. Just do it. Like, the very first step is the most important. Like, just trying to just get out there and doing what you're passionate in or something that you want to do. Then you can focus. You can like slowly add on to what you already know, and you'll get better and better and better, because everyone starts out bad. Let's just be real. Everyone.
Yeah. No.
Oh, yeah.
We all
Nobody
start from
will
somewhere.
ever like start up an editing software and be like, "Oh, I'm godlike at this." Like, it doesn't.
No,
happen.
it doesn't happen.
It-
It takes a lot of
It
practice.
all takes experimentation.
Yeah, and it.
No,
Continue.
sorry. You can go ahead.
I mean, yeah, I was just gonna say, like, it's a lot of just repetition and time put into it. Obviously, once you consider what Crunch and Kurumi just said, it's just about dedication. If you want to get good at your craft, you gotta keep on doing it
Yeah.
until you master whatever you're trying to do. If you want to be like a glitch editor, or you are trying to get good at like glitch effects, then focus on doing those until you understand the effect that you're trying to do, to the point in which you can just do it whenever you want to,
Another thing is, like, don't be afraid of asking other editors for advice. Like, other editors
Yeah.
know more than anyone else. Like, they're doing what you're doing, and they will be able to help you in improving on what you do. If you don't have anyone that you know at the moment, then you can definitely look at like AMV tutorials of like seeing how to do things, like at least at like a basic fundamental level of like seeing how you do this effect, and like how you even start with learning the program. Definitely that helps. But once you like outgrow or like learn above that, or like go above that level, then other editors will be your best influence for improving what you do.
Yeah, and thankfully, like
Very
nowadays,
true.
you can just go into like a Discord for whatever niche type of editing you're trying to do, and more than likely be able to find that. So you can just go around and ask and talk to people.
Yeah, there's a bunch of servers
something
for
that I'm-
over editing and things like that.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that they're also gonna be like excited about it. Obviously, not everyone's gonna be like super friendly and whatever, but at least for what I've seen, whenever I see someone new that comes into like editing, like asking questions and stuff like that, like it's always nice to see more people trying to do what you're doing.
Right.
Okay, so you all pretty much gave the advice for newcomers and basically the editors that are existing at the moment. So I'm going to be the odd one out and give advice to people that are working with editors. And this advice I'm about to give, this one's for Dan specifically, because I know he relates to this one a lot. But when you're working with editors, not only be concise as to what you want, but when they're showing previews and such, they're trying to ensure that they have the concept idea of it correct. Keep that in mind before the rest of the product is actually fleshed out and such, but they want to keep you updated just so that you know that nothing is being worked on. Things are being worked on, it's just things like this, it takes time before they actually start, the magic actually happens. You know. Unless you have the money for it to pay more to the editors for them to start from scratch one again, like I said, you better have the idea from the very beginning. Obviously, editors are willing to work to your needs of it though, but there's only a certain point to where they will reach. Please learn that. and understand to where they see from that, and then after that you guys can go meet ends at your concerns. If you don't do that until at the end of the project to where all these changes have to be made, oh my god, we will lose motivation very quickly. I promise you that much.
I can definitely agree with that. Like,
True. Yes.
Yeah, likewise.
Hella relatable.
We hate those. But other than that, I think that will be it for this podcast episode. Dan, Kirumi, is there anything you would like to say? Your plugins, maybe something, anything?
Dan, you can go first.
Well, not really, aside from, like, just thank you for having me here, honestly. Like, it's just enjoyable to talk about all of these things, especially because, like, we all like it so much. So being able to talk to people that are also into it and just, like, express these many ideas, it's really fun and hella enjoyable. So, yeah, just thank you.
Yeah, thank you for having us, for sure. Definitely shout-outs to the Smash Boys. We're making good content over there, hopefully.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and stream 2020 Joyride on youtube.com/Kirumi. It's a good video. Almost at 1,000 views. Thank you.
Hey.
And yeah, just if there's anything that you really want to take from this, or like from what I said, please, if you're into this scene, definitely support the editors, because we've put a lot of time into videos and things like that, and we're trying our best over here. So if you could show any kind of support, that'd be really appreciated. Thank you.
Also follow us on Twitter.
My deactivated.
Yes, I will link your guys' Twitter to the descriptions and
I'll
everything.
reactivate.
We will most certainly bad. Oh wait, your Twitter's
Yeah, my
gone?
Twitter's gone.
Why? Anyways, whatever. So,
all right. I'll promote the best social medias that I can. Then we'll definitely talk about that. But yeah, no, this was actually a fun podcast. This was actually a little bit. I think this is like the very most different one that we've had here in this podcast yet. Which, you know what, we love it here. Kirumi, I have to thank you for pitching this idea to me, because you know what, I wanted to bring all of us together for this specifically. So this was nice for bringing this all.
I mean,
together.
it's something that I was
for that.
really passionate in. I feel like a lot of people are a little bit misinformed, so that's why I wanted to clear things up.
You guys, all of you guys did amazing. You guys are still gonna improve your editing and such. Like, you know, again, we love the talents here, all of you.
yes, sir.
Thank you.
That being said, that's all going to be for the podcast episode. If you're listening to the show on Apple Podcasts, be sure to leave out a 5-star rating if you enjoyed the podcast. Hit up the Storm Connect Twitter at StormConnectEN or other platforms this podcast is on for feedback on the show, discussion, and so on forward. This is Edo Ninja.
And this is Crunch.
Thank you for your time for listening to this podcast episode. Stay safe, stay healthy, and for fucking heaven's sake, for the life of me, please stay smart. We will see you guys on the next podcast episode. See ya.